brings you back to more traditional times. The era when families joined together to enjoy an authentic old world taste with traditional recipes and fresh ingredients. That time and place still exists at Corpele's Italian Bakery and Deli. Since 1924, now 4 generations and 4 locations. The Corpele's family has been bringing you back to a more nostalgic time by sharing their favorite recipes and consistently adding new flavors for new traditions. While Corpele's Italian Bakery and Deli is well known for their famous tomato pie, voted best in Philadelphia, nothing compares to their fresh baked bread and strombolis, handmade pastries, cookies, pies, and a wide range of custom cakes. For a list of locations and all your party needs, explore more at CorpelesBakery.com.
When you get a call from a top NBA player who was injured in a car crash by a drunk driver and faces a career-ending injury, you know you must bring your A game. And you also feel grateful that your reputation as the world's largest injury firm with hundreds and hundreds of verdicts and billions in recoveries for our clients has been recognized. Results matter, reputation matters, choices matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, or thepeople.com.
Women Heart is in a race to save lives. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. It's 80% preventable if you know the facts. Millions of women are living with or at risk of different types of heart disease, like AFib, which is a type of irregular heartbeat. It affects both women and men, but women with AFib have a higher risk of stroke and death than men. Get educated. See your doctor. Know the facts. Diet and exercise are key to staying healthy. Know the risks. Women Heart does something really unique, solely focusing on women and providing peer-to-peer support. To win this race, we all have to do it together. Our hearts beat as one. To learn more, visit womenheart.org.
It's Cuz. Thinking about getting an engagement ring? If you're ready to pop the question, you got to go to Golden Nugget Jewelers right now. Largest selection of certified diamonds and engagement rings. Your perfect ring is at Golden Nugget Jewelers. Major financing options, unbeatable prices for name brands such as Veragio and Tacori. Online today at goldennuggetjewelry.com. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Good morning. Thought I'd help you wake up.
It's 6 a.m. and you're listening to The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Let the party begin!
The show starts now.
It officially starts now. Your week begins with the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Yeah, it's back to work. The week before 4th of July weekend, which I think is a tactical point for a lot of people. Trying to schedule around the 4th of July weekend. I know I did it this year. The vacation coming up before 4th of July weekend, so it runs into 4th of July weekend. So you get that little extra buffer.
Yeah, I've done nothing.
You've done nothing yet?
I've done nothing.
You're almost through June, Mike.
I know. I'll set it up for July and August, somewhere around there.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I've done nothing.
You are absolutely
I have no plans.
Yeah, normally I'm on top of it. Get it done maybe February, March, have it all planned out.
Right.
This time around, I did not.
So you did not this time around. Is there a reason?
No.
Were you waiting for COVID stuff to shake out?
Not really. I had a plan for something else. It did not come through, but I can still audible and find something else for us to do.
What's the longest you've ever been away? Excuse me.
Don't die on me now.
I can't die yet.
I think 10 days. I think 10 days is the longest.
I think 6 days off, and that doesn't count. 6 vacation days is the longest I've ever taken.
Okay, well, I'll go.
In one group.
I'll go 8 days.
So 8 days.
8 of work.
Connor, in your old career before this one?
Yeah, no, I never really took all that much time off there either. Probably 4 days, maybe 5.
At a time?
Yeah.
Is it better to take it as a time, or is it better to do it like Bob's doing? If I had a shore house, I would absolutely take the Monday, Friday thing. I think I'd take something like that all the time. I would get more joy out of that, knowing that I could stay longer down the shore than taking week at a time, something like that. Patrick, I worry about you though. Coach is going to take a vacation because I'm a vacation advocate.
Well, and I got
a huge vacation.
I got called into a meeting on Thursday with the bosses, and they yelled at me for not taking vacation, which is always a good sign when they're like, "Can you please leave?"
Yes,
we'll pay you to go away. Get out.
Right.
That is good.
And I said, "No, I can't."
And you say you can't do it.
Can't quit you. Wow. No, it's honestly it's because we just don't have any plans. Like I took vacation last year. I took it towards the end of December.
Did, but you didn't take.
But no, that was a long one because that was. Look, we take the last week in December.
Last week in
December.
December.
And I took the week before that. So it bled in. And I think it was like December 19th. And then I came back. We all came back like January 2nd
or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it was. That was cool. I enjoyed that. But we just don't have any plans. It's not like I don't want to leave you guys. I do.
Oh, I love you.
I want to leave you guys so bad. Like working with Coach every day in there.
Coach is going to do a disconnect next week. I'm proud of Coach.
How about that?
I love that.
I am not even bringing laptop, any kind of.
I'm really happy for that. I'm happy to hear that.
The place starts catching on fire. I don't know what to tell you.
I think everybody. Well, we know Rodney's here to save you if that happens.
Good point.
Are you going
Fireman
up to the mountain house?
Yeah, I'm going to my mountain house. There's no phones, no
just
internet.
A landline, or is there?
Well, no, that got disconnected too, so there's no communication.
I will carry the iPad with me to Vegas when I go out to Vegas, but just for the flight.
That's typically what I do.
Because I have to have something to do.
Same deal. Yeah.
I can't sit still for the 5 hours.
Same deal.
You can't just stare at the back of a seat.
No, I can't do that. And I don't know what the American American flight's going to have on it, but it'll be great. As we start today, Bradford White Water Heaters is here for the pro. Bradford White Water Heaters bringing you the 6 a.m. hour of the John Kincade Show. Coach wants you to know that no two dog noses are the same. A dog's nose is the equivalent of a human fingerprint, with each having a unique pattern of ridges and creases. And I will say to you, that is something that no one could ever prove to me. Like, how could you?
What do you mean?
You'd have to have every dog in the world lined up and prove that no two are alike.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that means you have to get every person lined up and prove that.
Correct. Like, I don't necessarily believe when they say there's no two fingerprints that are exactly alike.
That is a lie. It's very, very rare, but it has happened
it's happened before.
Previously, it has happened where a few people have had the same exact fingerprint.
Right.
But it's very rare.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like they say this is the most unique indicator. I'm like, I don't believe.
Also, who decided that all snowflakes are different? They checked every single snowflake?
That's what I say. It's nonsense. It's nonsense.
Same thing. There's been cases where they're two of the same snowflake.
How do they catch them and study them?
They don't. They just make this up and expect no one to
melt.
check.
It's stuff it's crap that people say.
And what do you do when you catch them? What do you dry ice, right? You use dry ice to save it. You can't find it. It's the same color. Where is it?
Like some of our listeners might say that me and Jamie are the same snowflake.
You are both snowflakes.
But we're not.
Soy boy snowflakes.
Yeah, we're different. Yeah, we're soy boy snowflake, but we're different.
Soy boy snowflakes. Hey, Bob's out. Jamie's out. So Devon Givens.
Good morning.
In Bob's seat.
I'm back.
Jamie.
Wait, that's not Bob?
No, it's not. You didn't even realize it?
I didn't even recognize him.
Pat in Jamie's seat and Connor in Egan's seat. So as we get started today, it was a fantastic weekend for the Phillies, except for yesterday stunk. But who cares? You win 4 out of 5 in a series. Who cares? I don't even care how it happened. Yeah, Zach Eflin might have been better in High School Musical than he was on the mound yesterday because he, again, I never know what to expect.
No.
There is no consistency. I'm glad next year is a mutual option because I've already decided the mutual option. Goodbye. I saw a little bit of The Weakest Link last night.
I think you're being a little too
And I'm
hard.
saying goodbye. No, goodbye. I'm fine. $7.5 million extra. I would give any young kid a chance to crack the lineup.
For $7.5 million? No, I'm taking Eflin back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't deal with it.
He can be a good fifth starter. For $7.5 million, that's a bargain.
I can't deal with it. I can't deal with off and on.
For $7.5 million, fifth starter? Absolutely.
I don't know what to
sign me up.
Yeah,
There's
from
never
game to game.
Yeah, there's never.
You don't
And I
know.
keep waiting for the year where the light bulb goes off and we say, okay, this is the year he's taking a real jump.
Nah.
And it doesn't happen.
Well, the Angels game was the best, where he went 8.
That was a great game.
Yeah, he went 8, and he had the run support. He had the 10 runs and 5 hits, and striking out 6. But since then, just a little up and down of what he's been able to do. But to your point, it's the inconsistency of it all, or the consistency of being a little bit up and down.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's just it is what it is.
And he's the 5th starter.
But that's the thing. That you're describing a 5th starter.
And we're talking 7.5 next year?
Yeah, that's nothing in baseball. That's nothing.
Okay,
if
but
if it was over 10, I'd go okay. But $7.5 million, I mean, for a 5th starter, that what you're like. I understand you're saying.
I know he's not an answer though. I already know the answer.
But he's a 5th starter. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, a 4.5 ERA is probably what most people are getting from their 5th starter.
He goes 5 innings every outing.
Yeah,
that's about it. He can get you 15 outs.
Yeah,
maybe 16, something like that. He's never gonna be efficient. He's gonna be exact. He's a 4.5 ERA pitcher for his career. He's a 4.5 ERA pitcher this year.
That's a 5th starter.
I know, but there's no. I want to see something where Pat, you can potentially show improvement.
I think the fact that he has been bumped down to a 5th starter is the improvement in the rotation. I think that's
opposed to being a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's not a 3 or 4. Like, this is what he is. I think he's like 29, 30. Like, he's never going to flip the switch, but he can be a serviceable major league pitcher. I bet you if they look to trade him, he would have a lot of value because of the price tag. Because $7.5 million for a 5th starter is nothing.
Here's his innings pitched this year. 4, 5.2, which by the way is not 5.2. It should be 5.66. But 5.2, 6, 4.1, 6, 7, 6, 8, 4, 6, 2.
Yeah.
It's just
So you're basically saying you're able to flip. You're okay with the flip of the coin of what he gives you on that day because he's the 5th starter.
So you're saying 5th starter.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's not Joe Blanton, and we can't. That was.
But even Joe Blanton was that. You described Joe Blanton right there.
Yeah,
I'm the biggest Joe Blanton fan there was. Like, I got my Joe Blanton jersey at home. But that's Joe Blanton. He was 5, 6. If he went 6 and if he had a quality start, like, you were happy with it.
But when you think back to Joe Blanton, you say, well, Joe Blanton did this, Joe Blanton did that, and Joe Blanton contributed to this. And I know it was Oswalt and Halladay and Cole Hamels and all of that and Cliff Lee, and I know you can't have that, but it just says, okay, well, all right, can we get a little bit
Could you
better?
get a little bit better?
I don't know.
Do you see any improvement in him?
You know what you say, Pat, all the time about seeing the same stuff over and over again?
Yeah.
You're like, it's the same stuff over and over again. I'm tired of it.
No, and I completely understand the frustration. I do think the knee had something to do with it yesterday, and that's where my frustration comes in, is because it seems like it's always something with him. He's always banged up, and now you got the knee issue, and that's not going to get better.
Yep.
But I guess my point is, like, when you take a step back and look at throughout baseball, look at the best team, they probably have their 5th starters probably similar to Zach Eflin.
Well, you can do some of that for me. You can look at some of those numbers for me. Because
now I got homework.
I gave him homework. I want homework. You put it out there.
Thanks a lot, Devon.
That's why you go back to Joe Blanton. That's easy. The numbers are there.
Connor, we always talk
sign Joe Blanton.
We always talk about guys in this town. Furkan Korkmaz. Things like that. Guys who are not expected to be the big starters, guys who are expected to be pieces, who we complain about because we're tired of seeing it. They're not showing improvement. We're tired of seeing it. But with Zach Eflin, it's like, just bring him back.
Yeah.
Hey, give him a big raise next year, too.
I didn't say a big raise.
Well, they are.
$7.5 million is still.
It's a $3 million raise, isn't it? Who makes this year, or am I wrong?
But like you're going from him making
like 4,
nothing in terms of like MLB contracts to
which is a big raise.
But it's still nothing. Like $7 million is for a starting pitcher where you know what you're getting from him is nothing.
No, but I could get another pitcher who could give me a 4.5 ERA that could give me that I'd be paying nothing.
I don't think you could.
Why does that matter? What are they going to do with that extra money? They could just spend the extra money on top of it. Like, they're not. I don't even think they're reaching the next luxury tax threshold if they took that money and spent it.
They're not looking to keep building on the number they're already at. They're not looking to go, let's just spend and spend and spend. You telling me if you freed up, if you got a young pitcher in there or a more of a journeyman guy making 2.5, 3, young guy, and you had $4 million to spend or $4.5 million to spend next year, you couldn't get a quality arm in the bullpen for $4.5 million?
No, but I don't believe they're.
You could.
I know you can, but I don't believe they're looking at Zach Eflin's contract next year at $7.5 million, saying that's why we can't go get a bullpen guy. Like
No.
they're just going to go get him anyway.
But why not do it?
Because he's a solid fifth starter.
Wow.
Dude, I get your frustration, but I think it's just recency bias a little bit. I think because
I've always thought this was Zach Eflin. There's no improvement.
But my point is, like, we don't, for fifth starter, like, you don't really need, this is what you get. For Major League Baseball, for $7.5 million, this is what you get. You're not getting a lot of quality pitchers for $7.5 million. So while he gets a raise, it's still a bargain. Like, you got something on sale, and then you get to the counter, and they're like, well, it's actually the sale ended, but it's still really cheap. So you end up buying it anyway.
Well, crystal clear lakes, trout-filled streams, and wide sandy beaches. None of these interest Egan, but they may interest you. So why don't you go to Maine? It's summer and the water's calling. Visit Maine.com. This message is sponsored to you by the Maine Office of Tourism. Crystal clear lakes, trout-filled streams, and wide sandy beaches. Wide sandy beaches, for me, that's it. The trout-filled streams. Never been a fisherman myself.
Neither have I. Never. No.
Never been a fisherman.
I'm good.
I like a little fishing.
You do? Yeah, I would think you'd
Really?
like fishing.
Yeah, I used to go. There used to be a lake in the next neighborhood over from mine. I'd go over and fish in that growing up.
Go
and-
fish in the lake.
Crystal Lake?
No.
Okay.
Isn't that where Jason was?
Yeah.
Did they ever catch him, by the way?
No, it's tough to catch a guy in a hockey mask.
Is he dead?
I think so, yeah.
He is dead. Did they kill him in one of these?
Probably.
Michael Myers, have they tracked him down?
Well, according to the last one, I mean,
What
Yeah,
happened
he
in the
keeps
last
coming
one?
back.
I
He
saw
keeps
the
coming
last one I saw, he was burning to death and locked in the basement.
well, he just simply
Of a house.
He finds ways to,
Escape.
movie-wise, escape and walk when it looks really cool with the fire burning behind
Yeah.
you or through it, and that happens all the time.
Now he's supposed
That's
to be the
pretty cool.
devil. He's the devil?
I don't know what he is.
'Cause,
He's
I mean,
an
I've watched the
unkillable
movies.
demigod.
There
He'll
you
always
go.
be back.
There you go.
It's like Stefano DiMera.
Fair enough.
There is.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Thinking
Yes.
the same thing, Johnny.
Stefano died like 7 times on Days of Our Lives.
Absolutely.
Never
You
was
don't have
able
to
to
tell
kill
me twice. I'm aware.
But Devon knew Stefano DiMera.
Which one is this?
It's Stefano from Days.
Yes.
It's good
Yes,
to be
I
back.
knew the name,
There you go.
but I didn't watch it.
There you go.
I knew the name.
Like sands through the hourglass.
There you go.
John Tortorella joins us today at 8:30. His first interview with us today at 8:30. I'm very much looking forward to catching up with Coach. And again, I'll tell you about it a little bit later on, but the more reconnaissance I do, the more I'm very okay with this hire. I am really okay with it. And I can understand. I was asking people in my hockey circles this weekend, what did the search firm see in him? And it was so clear the respect this guy has around the league for being able to get as much juice out of the lemon squeeze as can be gotten. And you, Pat, you've watched some of them up close and personal over the years. You've seen it, watching the NHL.
Great coach. Phenomenal coach. And I think the search firm didn't really have to. Bob joked about
Exactly.
this. You needed a search firm to look at John Tortorella. You could have looked
exactly
at
what I
the
was gonna
Stanley
ask.
Cup.
I could have done it. Right.
And the Stanley Cup has his name on it. And
Yes.
that's really all you need.
Yep.
So, boom.
I had someone say to me this weekend that his job in Columbus was better. The coaching job in Columbus was arguably better than winning the Stanley Cup with Tampa.
He got a lot out of not a ton of talent there. I mean, they did trade for Patrick Laine, but they don't.
Sure.
They don't have a lot of world beat. I mean, Zach Werenski's really good, but he will get everything you said. The amount of lemon out of that juice or whatever
Squeeze out of the lemon, whatever it is.
And he will get these guys in shape, and they will play hard for him. But with every coach, you have a shelf life. His is usually about 6 years.
That's a great shelf life, by the way, as
Yeah.
we've said in hockey.
But I worry in 6 years, this team's still not going to be good enough to win.
We'll ask Coach today coming up at 8:30. Don't miss it here on the show. Jaquiski Tart. I got to tell you, the other day I heard the news that the Eagles secondary, that they'd gotten another veteran safety in there on a 1-year deal, which I'm totally cool with, and Jaquiski Tart was his name. And I got to tell you, the guy started 64 games for the 49ers, and I didn't know him.
Really?
Really?
No,
Yeah.
You didn't know him.
really know him.
Yeah.
I knew the name. If you had told me the name stood out, If you had said to me, does he play for, he plays for a team in the NFC, I would have gone,
Really?
maybe Seattle. Maybe I like one of those guys. I know he plays in the league, but I don't know who didn't know who he plays for. Didn't know who he's. I'm surprised it's a 1-year deal.
I'm not surprised it's a 1-year deal. They seemed like Anthony Harris last year, right? You know about him a little bit from Minnesota. You've seen him, and now with Tart, yeah, I knew who he was. And talking with the guys, John, when I filled in before when you were out, and one of the things that we talked about was the fact that I like Marcus Epps, but I like Marcus Epps in a rotation as a third safety. I wanted another veteran, and I thought this was really good on a 1-year deal. You got one. You have one who has started on a playoff team, and whether you know his name or not, he started on the playoff team.
Yeah,
started in the Super Bowl,
and he
started in playoff team.
Yes. So he understands the position, and that puts. And I think what makes it again really good for me is it puts Marcus Epps in a spot where, and they'll battle it out, and they'll figure out who's more deserving to be the starter. But I like the fact that there's another veteran back there that I know I've seen play on a playoff team coming in, and now he's in a rotation. And you can get a little more creative with everyone else when it comes to what you want to do in certain nickel and dime situations. When maybe you want to bring Marcus Epps, bring him in a little bit in a coverage against the tight end, maybe. Whatever they decide to do, I like this move a lot for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Why is he available, Pat, in a 1-year deal on June 17th?
There's always guys. There's always guys, yeah.
And he's 30, so they must.
There's always guys that overvalue themselves, and then they get to around this time and they go, oh, crap.
I got to take a deal.
I'm unemployed, and
this might not be a bad team.
My wife wants me to get out of the house. It's just your value isn't there. I was listening to a podcast with somebody recently, but they talked about that, about how, you know what? It was George Niang. It was George Niang on the Danny Green podcast. And he was like, yeah, when the season ended, I kind of thought, I was going to get all these offers. And then I didn't. And you start looking around at the offer you do get, and you got to go back, and you end up taking less because your value isn't what you thought it was. And I think pride gets in the way of a lot of athletes. And with this situation, he finally decided to sign. So I'm not surprised.
Buddy of mine does the 49ers, covers the 49ers with a 49ers Daily podcast, Rob Stats Guerrera. And I asked him flat out, give me your evaluation. He said he rarely blows a play. He rarely gets caught. Yes. But he is not a playmaker.
No. But that's what you have the two guys on the outside
So,
for.
Right, exactly. So,
you don't need a playmaker.
So I'm cool with that.
Sometimes. I'll take an interception from him.
He rarely gets beat.
Yeah.
He rarely ever is going to get beat, but he's rarely ever going to make a play. Make a mistake. He's not going to make that mistake that cost you. Mm-hmm. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good deal.
I'm perfectly okay with that. That's all you care about is a guy not making a mistake in that role. Like, that's the most important thing. Corners can make a mistake, but you're supposed to be the backup for the corner, really. So I love the move.
Think about how many times you see a safety and a corner looking at each other because they're turning back and wondering, what happened?
Yeah.
Didn't you have that one back there?
Yeah, you were supposed
Meanwhile, he's running the other way for the score. Again, if you have someone like this who is a veteran, to your point of your friend there with the 49ers, that he doesn't make a mistake. So we may not have to worry about that too much. And when you have the two playmakers in Slay and Bradbury on the outside, or at least two solid guys that can do things, whether it's a pass deflected and Tart comes up with an interception accidentally, or Maddox, or even Harris, whatever it might be, he's in the right spot for the most part. And when you do have some of the younger guys that are there, from Kayvon Wallace and to Marcus Epps, again, another veteran there, Roddy McLeod gone, only Anthony Harris back there, to show that player what it's like to be back there and what they need to do in the scheme.
The 49ers reportedly told him, go shop your services, see what kind of money you can get. So obviously it must be a better deal here than they were willing to offer. And he supposedly had two other suitors, teams, though, that weren't expected to be as good as the Eagles.
Okay.
So he picks the Eagles.
You win.
Solidifies the secondary. And again, to everybody who was screaming on draft weekend, oh my gosh, Howie did all these moves, and look, we have, I don't know who's going to be in the secondary. I don't even know. We're going to have no secondary. We had shows on this station being done about it. Oh, my gosh, they didn't address the secondary at all. Then you get Bradbury and Tart.
Well, I wanted the
Now
secondary.
it's like, oh, yeah, well, guess what? You did. Now they did address.
I certainly wanted them to address the secondary in the draft, but when the picks were made, I wasn't upset with the pick.
Amen.
But make sure you identify it now going forward by June, and he has done that.
2 veterans.
So
a veteran
I have no
corner,
problem
veteran
with what he's
safety.
done. He had a
I
really
was
good offseason.
mad about one pick, and it was the second-round pick because they didn't take Nakobe Dean.
Right. And then you've got.
So in the third round, it was like, let's party. Take your pants off,
There
boys.
you go. You got it all set. There's a reason to be excited. So good weekend for the Eagles there on that one. And we still have like 2 months to training camp.
I know.
Yeah.
Still like 2 months away. But the roster's solidified.
If we're not talking about them, what does that mean in this part?
Yeah,
Good.
exactly.
It's pretty good.
It is
Yeah,
good.
that's a
Pretty
really good
good.
point. It is good.
I was on a Zoom call on Friday with a bunch of people that sounded like it was from a sitcom.
I was there.
I didn't see you. I didn't have my camera up.
Purposely. Same.
You and I, see? There you go.
Right.
And I muted it too.
Same.
So I didn't say anything.
But I was there.
But some of the names that were on this call, incredible. We'll share them with you next. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. My friends at Window Nation are going to take great care of you. They know your home is inefficient. They know your heating and cooling bills are through the roof. That's why you need Window Nation on your side, so they want to make it good for you. So they're giving you 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. Plus, you're going to pay nothing for 2 full years. You don't know what kind of windows I have. I don't know what kind of windows you have. So they have vinyl, they have wood, they have fiberglass. Most importantly, they've got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. More importantly, they have every style, every size, every color you could potentially desire. You will love Window Nation. They're going to take great care of you. They're going to make sure that your heating and cooling bills plummet. And they're going to know that for 2 full years, you get to stash that money away. So you're ready to pay for it when you can. So buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and pay nothing for 2 full years. But do your window shopping online today. Go to windownation.com. Find the windows that you're looking for, the style, the color, the size you need, and then you're going to love it. Window Nation, they're the perfect fit. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION.
The John Kincade Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Name one small insurance company. Couldn't think of one, could you? Didn't think so. Most insurance companies are big, really big. They have thousands of lawyers. Imagine it's a beautiful day, sun is shining, birds singing. You're on your way to work, and then bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Let me give you some straight talk. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. Over $1 billion in one case alone. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's one thing to build a truck. It's another to build a legacy. The Ford F-150. The only truck with an available class-exclusive Pro Power onboard generator. The only one with an available work surface in the front and the back. And the only one that is part of the F-Series lineup that has been the best-selling pickup for 45 straight years. Now you can get special incentives when you build to order a new F-150. Inventory is arriving daily, so hurry in for best selection. Get to your local Ford store today.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us, no matter how big or small your business is. Earn back when you spend, get exclusive offers, and paint rewards. It all adds up to help level up your business. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards and Partnership Program today. Minimum purchase required. Earnings and paint rewards awarded as Lowe's e-gift cards. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Valid through 12/31/22. See Lowe's.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change. U.S. only.
Hey, it's Cuz. Are you getting ready for a home improvement cleanup? The garage, the bathroom, big move? Let me tell you about the perfect solution, the Bagster. The Bagster, by far the most convenient, affordable way to help with your cleanup. The Bagster isn't just a great product. It's a 3 cubic yard dumpster in a bag sold at Home Depot, Lowe's, local home improvement stores everywhere, and for only $29.99. Holds 3,300 pounds of waste. Buy it, fill it, schedule your collection, poof, it's gone. Clean it up with the Bagster dumpster. In the back.
Hi, I'm Gina.
And I'm Todd.
And this is our TimberTech story.
We have a 200-year-old home.
When we did the wood deck, we thought this is not what we wanted at all.
I want an easier life of maintenance-free.
And then when we decided to transform it, it was a complete transformation.
And we chose TimberTech because of the maintenance-free aspect of the product and the real look of wood.
It's a forever home and a forever deck.
Order your free samples at timbertech.com.
At Boost Mobile, you get the power of the iPhone SE when you switch, which means the power to stream your favorite shows, download all the music, the power to FaceTime your ex.
It's over. Stop calling me.
On second thought, don't call your ex. Get an iPhone SE for just $19.99 when you switch. All on one of America's largest 5G networks. More power to save. Boost Mobile. Phone offer limited to new customers and one per line. Additional restrictions apply. 5G not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com for details. And stop calling your ex. She doesn't want to hear from you anymore.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're a window installer, keep it simple. Choose Anderson 400 Series windows. They're the cladwood windows contractors trust the most. So much so, they're the windows contractors trust for their own homes. And with fewer callbacks, the choice is simple. It's Anderson 400 Series windows. The windows contractors trust the most. Get started at AndersonWindows.com today.
Claims based on 2022 Anderson brand survey of U.S. contractors.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. The John Kincade Show.
I just want to let you know that I'm completely unprepared for this, and I blame both of you.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. Hopefully your Monday morning is off to a great start. Hopefully the roads are going to be nice and easy to traverse. This morning seemed empty this morning out there on my ride in compared to usual, when there usually aren't that many people anyway.
I'm about to say, when there's usually 3 cars, there was only 2.
No, there was quiet. It was very quiet this morning. Not a lot of truck action going on either.
Well, it's a government holiday.
Oh, today is Juneteenth holiday transferred over today. But that would not, but I don't know about the, with trucking, whether that matters.
I don't know. A lot of people have off today.
No, but trucking, usually the industry, they're doing food, they're doing, the trucks tend to be on the road, whether it's a holiday or
Maybe
not.
they're off for school.
Yeah.
Could be.
Vacation.
And it,
yeah, right.
Maybe they all took vacation, yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities there, too. And it's seen a lot of the Juneteenth news stories.
Yes.
Almost like PSAs. Because I think a lot of people saw Juneteenth. They're like, okay, I've heard about it. I don't know what it is. I didn't even know some of the stories from Texas that went what they had to do to enforce it. Was it 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation?
Yeah. Yep.
2.5?
Yep.
And they had to send in the troops.
Yeah.
To enforce it.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good to see, people taking notice of it, and you just sometimes with things like this, especially when it's something new, and you start to see it's kind of like what we talked about in a joking way with the word John last week, but where it's everywhere and everybody's trying to jump on it and try to take advantage of something that they really aren't educated enough on it. But to your point, now most people or most companies and things of that nature are trying to educate everybody on what it actually means. So it is good in that way to see it.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And
until last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just panned up, had no clue. And
the history of it, the deep history. I had heard the term, but to learn the deep history of it, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I did not. Connor, did you?
No, I didn't. Not until it became more publicly known last year. And I had no idea. So it's good to learn these things. It's good for this to happen, for the public to be able to the general public to be able to pick up on these things that we should know about and should be celebrated.
I did not know anything about it, though. I said, and then the more you read, the more you see, and then that is a good way to break people in. I think to understanding something that maybe they're not familiar with.
Yeah, and
I think holidays confuse people anyway. People get confused with Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
Well,
I see on Memorial Day, people are like, "Go thank a veteran." I'm like, no. Anybody you could thank on Memorial Day is not here. That's why it's Memorial Day.
Right.
Veterans Day is different. That's when we thank them. I said those things. I think there's a lot of confusion with people.
Well, it's good that they're
Understand
bringing
things.
awareness to it now. Better late than never, but it's here.
Hey, Friday I was on a Zoom call that Pat got to have before us.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have it once or twice, right?
I was close to hopping on Friday just to do a
You
sequel.
wanted to be there?
I wanted to be there
Okay.
so bad because it was fun. It's fun to hop on and see the gang. See the gang from Detroit and Fayetteville and Charlotte.
Well, I had it was like a corporate, conference call on Zoom. And I just started to look at the boxes and then the people that were being called on. And I'm like going, okay, I'm John. And we've got Bob. And we've got Jamie. And we've got Devon. And we've got Pat. We're missing something, guys.
Yeah.
We're missing it. The names that were called in a series of questions during the corporate call, Pebbles. Said we're going to take calls here from the, if you submit a call, just like raise your hand on the little Zoom window.
Yep.
Pebbles, you have a question.
What do you say, Pebbles?
And then I believe the second one was Straight Cash.
Oh, this is Straight Cash here for WXTW.
Had a question. He had a question. Then Gunner had a question.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Gunner.
Then Gunner had a question.
WXTW.
Then Cruiser checked in.
Oh, man.
I'm not kidding you. These are not dog names.
I was there.
These are not dog names.
I was there.
Cruiser, Cadillac. Now, is Cadillac on the country station? Come on.
Cadillac
You
is
know
playing.
it's the country
No,
station.
I would bet you Cadillac is playing the oldies.
Oldies?
Yeah, well, he's playing like, all right, it's Cadillac.
Really? So I'm guessing country.
Cadillac
this is the Who.
Jack.
This is the Who.
See, Cadillac Jack was in Atlanta, too, so this must be a name that DJs have.
Cadillac Jack is one of our DJs and music directors for one of our country stations.
So he's a country guy. See, there you go.
Cadillac
So
Jack.
it is country. I would say it's Cadillac.
Cadillac Jack. Here's Tyson
Blake
Rich.
Here comes Tyson Rich.
Here's Chet and Holmgren.
On 92.8.
That guy plays basketball.
I like how you did that. Yeah.
On 92.8 The Beagle. Like, what? I mean, what's a good country music station name?
I would say XTU.
The Beagle?
That's a really good country music
it has
station.
to be the
Solid
slogan.
one.
The Rascal.
The Beagle.
The Rascal's a great
The
one.
Rascal. Yeah.
WXTW, the Rascal.
The Rascal is up. Well,
What's going
I'm
on,
trying
folks?
to
It's
think.
Cadillac Jack here with the Rascal.
I wouldn't know where it is either.
When Pebbles,
No idea.
I'm
when
sorry.
Pebbles and Straight Cash and Gunner and everything, and at one point, so I'm sitting out on the back patio on the deck watching, and my wife's on another couch, and she's hearing it, and she goes, "Okay, wait a minute, these names, what are they? They're radio names?" I said, "Yeah," and she goes, "Well, why wouldn't they log in to a corporate call as their real names, like Bill,
we can't do
Sandy,
that.
Paul?"
No. You gotta
They're
be,
in character
you got-
the whole time?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
you're
have
trying,
to be
you're
in
trying
character.
to dox them,
So wait,
John. You
so
can't
if
say
you're
their
meeting
real
with, so if Larry David got a cast meeting together, the characters would identify themselves as Kramer and George and by their character names,
it's
or would
method
they call
acting.
themselves their real names?
Well, Coach stayed in character. He continued to be a
Coach,
jackass.
what were you? Were you Eric, or
No,
were you Coach on the call?
no, I'm. It's Eric. Yeah.
Why would they go by aliases on a work call when their name is they're using their aliases?
Because that's who they are to them. That's who they are.
No, they are.
Yes, they are them.
I am Gunner.
I am Gunner.
With 92.5 The Rascal.
Wait a minute.
Exactly.
Win tickets to the Barefoot Music Festival. That's right, No Shoes Nation. We got Tyson Nuggets coming up.
Wait a minute. You're telling me when you're at the Wegmans, and when they ask you for your name, you order. You're doing your lunch meat order and everything like. What's the name on that? And you go Pebbles.
So
No, you go by your name. My name is Marcy.
Not if they
but
believe it.
on the radio, my
Not
name
if-
is Pebbles.
Not if they believe it.
there's
Wait. You're telling me
I won't do it.
The actors on General Hospital should go up and say, yes, my name
a little different.
My name is Victor Cassadine.
You know what?
No, my name's Charles Shaughnessy.
That's why I was thrown off at Lucky's Last Chance when they asked me my name was Pat. I didn't know what to do. No, there's a guy down that we work with in our sister station, and he had a radio name, and he ended up meeting Paul. The guy from the Beatles that I'm drawing a blank on.
McCartney.
Yeah,
Paul
thank
McCartney?
you.
Okay.
All right, that's an all-timer. Grab that for Stan Pat.
Very easy to forget Paul McCartney's name.
And so he met Paul McCartney, and he wanted to get an autograph, and he had him autograph it as his fake radio name. And
No,
not
he
his real
didn't.
name.
There you
Yes,
go.
he did.
See?
Wait a minute. Now, this is
It's
weird,
one
though.
of his biggest regrets.
You look at me, though, and you say, because that's who they are to them. So I'm saying, for Jason Alexander, is George Costanza?
No, I think that's a little different.
Yeah.
right?
I don't understand. I really don't understand how it's
I
different.
mean, that's acting. That's them doing their thing. On the radio, that's their personality, but they come up with this radio stage name that's what they're known by. George Costanza is also known as Jason Alexander. People know his name. They might like to throw some George Costanza things at him, but they know it's Jason
Like,
Alexander.
people only know you as the name dropper.
The name dropper.
So when people go like John Kincade, like people are like, who the hell is John Kincade?
Who is it?
Oh, he's the name. I got it now.
Now I got it. It's just weird because I know somebody in our business who goes by a name in sports radio who I worked with for many, many years, but in real life he doesn't. He goes by his real name.
That's him.
I don't
How
think.
many of these? There are a bunch of DJ names out there in the country. Not what?
Yeah,
not
but they're
one-
like
not
in real
one-
life. They're do people
Yes.
call them pebbles?
John,
I bet you.
Probably.
John,
Really?
We're all different. You're different. I'm different. Pat, we're all different. We all think differently. You don't think these people really but straight cash is straight cash to whoever he's talking to? Yes, he's straight cash.
You think when
Thank
he's in the Acme, it's straight cash?
When he sees Randy Moss, he's like, Randy, that's my name too, man.
How's everyone
All
doing
right,
out
there you
there?
go.
Well,
This is
Yes.
Pebbles, and here's Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart for you folks.
We're gonna have an 8 a.m. We're gonna have an 8.
You don't think when they call and order their food from whatever local pizza
They
spot
say
or
this
Chinese
is Pebbles?
Yeah, absolutely.
they don't.
That's exactly what they do.
One pie for
Connor, what they-
$16 for Pebbles.
Exactly, Pebbles.
Put
What's your name?
respect on Pebbles' name.
I don't want you to know. First of all, some of them might think they might be bigger than they already really
Oh,
are.
yeah.
So, yes, I don't want you to know my name is John Smith, so therefore I am Cadillac.
Oh, I guarantee that.
Okay?
Toyota.
Pebbles has a hoodie that says, I'm huge in Fayetteville.
100%.
Guaranteed.
100%.
Can't
Yeah.
go anywhere without Pebbles being mentioned.
Now, Coach is always Coach wherever he goes. No one even knows his real name.
No, I introduce myself as Eric to
Correct.
anybody. Even if you guys introduce me as, hey,
Coach.
this is Coach, I always go Eric. I
Wait,
never
your
use
name's
his
Eric?
name Coach.
Since when?
He didn't even know.
But I during the commercial break, I ran all of our names through the DJ name
Oh, good.
generator. Okay. So you ready
All
for
right,
this?
we have our new names?
Yeah, we have our new names, at least for the rest of this show.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, John, you're now considered Techno Daddy.
Techno Daddy.
Wait, I thought John, and I got to give credit to Matt Deckard. Matt Deckard on our YouTube said, I thought John was Jamie Lee Curtis.
That could do that. I don't think that they would use that as a name, though, because then I'd be taking her name.
Well,
Okay,
today,
good point. Good point. Okay.
She'd sue me.
Today
and I
it's
don't have
Techno
the
Daddy.
money to handle it.
Devon, your name today is Angry Hamster.
That's me.
Wait. So what was the first one?
Techno Daddy.
Techno Daddy and Angry Hamster.
Yes, it's a wacky
Talking
new morning
sports
show.
in Philly.
Yes.
Angry hamster.
What is Pat speaking?
Now, this is the really weird one that came back.
I really
this
should
way.
be the Angry Hamster.
I had everybody's first and last names in here. Pat's DJ name today is Candy Mouth.
Oh my
that's
gosh,
good.
that's
That's
incredible.
not bad, though.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's not
That
bad.
is incredible.
Connor is Soft Troll.
Soft troll.
Yeah, that fits
That
actually.
could be Egan. That could fit Egan also.
It does fit.
Yours?
I'm Scratchy Professor.
That's
Scratchy.
stupid.
These are some bad
But that
names.
fits you. The stupid one fits you.
That works. It works.
Wow. All right.
Hey,
Thanks,
Mark,
Candy Mouth.
I took a big game when I'm in another studio.
hey, Martin Law is Philly's original law firm for injured workers. Schedule a free consultation today at paworkinjury.com. Devon wants to know about culture.
No.
What?
Angry Hamster.
Angry Hamster wants
get
to
it
know
right.
about culture.
Is this what we're doing, huh?
Yeah,
Let's play some pickup, please.
Angry Hamster.
His name Angry Hamster?
Exactly. Who? Okay.
Oh, you have heard of me. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for
yeah.
listening.
Mr. Hamster was
Exactly.
my father. Call me angry.
I got you. Yeah, culture in sports. After watching Golden State, the way that they won, and looking back 2 years ago, after their run, 3 titles before they have their issues, Kevin Durant leaves, the injuries, all of that, and they come back this year, and while they were a contender, and a lot of people thought they could be back in the Western Conference Finals, some thought the NBA Finals, but Phoenix being at the top, competing with them, and looking at Stephen Curry coming back from his injury during the playoffs. Jordan Poole is hot, averaging about 30 points in the first round. Steph Curry says, I'll come off the bench for the rest of the series. When we get to the next one, I'll start again. Klay Thompson fitting in, coming back in it. Draymond Green, we know what Draymond Green does. Everyone looks at him and says he's not a Hall of Famer. Folks, guess what? He's a Hall of Famer. He has 4 rings, and he was one before this. And Steve Kerr, the 9 rings. What Bob Myers has done in the front office, and Andre Iguodala, while he may not play much, he's still coaching things up. Gary Payton finding a role, and Kevon Looney starting but having to come off the bench. Their culture, Andrew Wiggins is my prime example there, too. I had a caller last week when I talked about Andrew Wiggins fitting with what they do because of their culture and their leadership of what they do and how it all just resonates down. And it starts from the top of those 3 core people with Curry, Thompson, and Green. And not just with them, but the New England Patriots and so many other franchises, and we see it. The culture is real, but how important is it? I think it's extremely important, and part of my problem, too, when I look at the basketball team is that's not necessarily here. The sacrifice of it all and what they do. Look at the examples. A Hall of Famer, a 2-time MVP, 4-time champion, the leader all time making the three-point makes and who he is, and the bringing in Kevin Durant when he did. That culture that they bring in and that type of thing, that foundation that they've laid, that to me is something that I want to see with the basketball team here and other teams here as well.
I don't see it with Joel Embiid. I don't see it with Joel Embiid being that guy.
Now, is that important?
Yes, huge.
Pat,
I think it is important.
Huge.
Yeah, I don't know how big it is, but I do think it's important. And what's concerning is their GM is a former player at a high level who came from a winning program at Duke and had success in the NBA, a lot of success, and it's like, okay, well, I can understand the Joel Embiid angle of not knowing the culture, but you did learn from Elton Brand in a way. He was your teammate for a little bit there, and then he became your GM. If anyone should kind of have a winning culture and know how to do it, it should be Elton Brand.
Is it him, or is it more of...
I think it's a collective unit. I'm not putting all the blame on Elton, but I think it's a collective.
Because now you have the president of basketball operations, which is Daryl Morey, and while they had their culture, it was really, this is James Harden. That was their culture.
Yeah, that's culture.
In Houston.
And I don't think he seems like a culture guy.
And to that,
at all.
What is the culture? Is that a winning culture? Yes, it's enough to win in the playoffs and get you to a second round and 1 Western Conference Finals. But beyond that, what have you done any differently than what Joel Embiid has done and the 76ers with their culture? And I just wonder how important it was in just watching that. And people say, I don't like the Golden State Warriors. I don't like. But guess what? They have 4 of them. 4 of them. 6 appearances in 8 years. And while they lost 2, one was because they were up 3-1, and we know what happened with Draymond Green, and they dropped that one. And the other one was Klay Thompson got injured. Kevin Durant got injured. They lost. And they ran into the Toronto Raptors and Kawhi Leonard and that great run that he and Kyle Lowry and that team had. Other than that, I mean, look at what they have done. Look at what the New England Patriots have done for all of those years. And you look at this, and now look at the Dodgers even right now. I mean, you had the one obvious issue that was a problem for them. But for the most part, look at the Dodgers and their sustained success that they've had. And part of that has to do with what culture is, and that is missing. And when you bring it up, John, with Joel Embiid, that is something that is an obvious miss right now that they do not have.
Yeah, I don't think he's a... I know you tried this year. I don't think guys are clamoring around the NBA to say, get me to Embiid.
It also has to be just a natural thing with what Steph Curry and those 3 and then everyone else, what they bring to the table there.
Are players clamoring to play with Steph or players clamoring to get into that organization because of the winning culture?
I think
it's probably a combination of both, but like
that's a chicken and the egg.
Yeah, Steve. I mean, Steve. For me, it would be more Steve Kerr.
Is it though? I don't know. I think it's just
I don't know either. Like you would probably know better. You would know better than me, but I think Steve Kerr has done a lot to make himself very enticing to potential free agents.
The only question I have with that one is there are a lot of people who says, what does he really do? Because of what they already had. Now, he brought more of that out of them to start winning, but what does he really do?
say interesting cultural dilemma that they've got, and I consider it a dilemma. They got to figure it out.
They do.
I don't think James Harden is a culture guy at all.
No, now
I don't think any team he's ever been on has he been the unifying force, the energizing
Is it too
unifying
late?
force. Yes.
Is it too late?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he's changing.
Even when he decides I'll take less.
Yeah,
I don't think he's
that's why I
changing.
don't think it's too late.
Okay.
I think the fact that he's willing to take less, like, when was the last time you heard an NBA superstar say, I'll take less to go somewhere? It doesn't happen often.
I believe
not often.
I believe we will have the same ending with James Harden we always have.
I hope not. I hope not.
I hope not too.
I mean,
that's my fear. But
and if the head coach plays a part, then Doc Rivers is here too, right?
Hey, we got a day off for the Phillies today. And now you run into a string of weeks, where the Phillies will have an off day, which is nice. They have next Monday off, and the following Monday off, and then the following Thursday off before the All-Star break. So they're in a good set here where you can get into a little bit of a rhythm. Perfect time, Pat.
It is coming at a absolutely perfect time, especially with this latest injury with Bryce Harper. You know, he's dealing with the elbow, which we all knew about, even though we haven't heard about it in a little bit, which is a good sign. But then all of a sudden this blister pops up. He missed the last 2 games of this series. So the injuries are starting to mount a little bit. You know, Zach Eflin, as I said, I think the knee had something to do with his poor outing yesterday. He leaves, not this past game, but the game before he left early with a knee injury. Comes out this time a little early. Didn't look the same. You know, Rob Thompson can tell me the knee was fine. I don't know. But I feel like this off day is coming at a crucial time for this team to kind of get healthy, because you cannot drop these upcoming games. Like you took care of business against the Marlins, and you took care of business against the Nationals, which is what we were begging them to do. You know, beat the bad teams.
Great week.
Always a problem with the Phillies. Just beat the bad teams. They did that. You got to keep it rolling and beat Texas, because Texas is also bad. They're brutal.
And they've already swept you.
You're talking about both, right?
You have to take both games.
Yeah.
They took the 2 in Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
And you better go there and take care of it.
Should be able to. You got Gibson going in game 1, and I think you got Wheeler going in game 2. You should be able to beat that team. That team's trash.
Well, you see Martin Perez in the second game.
Martin Perez is having the greatest season of his career, and he will never get back to this. I get it.
But you play him this season.
I understand what you're saying, but it would not shock me at all if one day he wakes up and remembers, oh, my God, I'm Martin Perez.
And Connor, you were scared last week when we were going up against the Marlins, too, remember?
I said it was going to be a tough matchup, and they had to walk it off.
Not tonight. You went, not tonight. When we said start a new streak, you said not tonight.
You were a coward.
I said it was a tough matchup.
No, you said not tonight.
You were a coward.
Not tonight. Coach and I sat right in the room for it, Coach.
And what did he say?
Connor said they should just cancel the game.
No, well, that was a little extreme.
Scared money don't make no money.
Don't be scared.
If I ever go broke, I'm going to take your money.
Rangers and the Padres this week. Padres are tough. They've been a little more down to earth lately. But
so what are you looking at then?
And Manny Machado
this week,
6 games.
This week, go 4-2.
4-2.
I'd love it.
You
win the 2 easy ones.
Yeah.
Split the other 2. That'd be a good week.
I think
they go 4-2. That's a really good week.
I think
it'd be fantastic.
I think you need to win both series, because Machado's going to be out most likely.
You're going to go 3-1 at San Diego.
I think you need to go. Well, I think I'm cool with yours.
Okay.
Splitting at San Diego, but I think you should be able to take care of business in San Diego if Machado is out, and that's the big one. I mean, that ankle injury looked really bad,
and it does look like he's
not as bad as they
thought.
But they thought the worst. But if he's out, you should be able to handle business.
I'm good with 3-3.
I was about to say the same thing.
You're good with 3-3, really?
If they go 3-3, I'm not mad.
We just talked about scared money.
Yeah.
It don't make no money.
That's not scared.
That's not scared.
You're scared.
No. Not scared at all.
You're terrified. You're sweating.
Not scared at all.
I'm looking at me. You're sweating.
Dust that right off. Dust that right off. No problems here.
3-3?
3-3?
Yeah, look how bad the Nationals looked. You're going to play that team a bunch more time. Like, you could literally go 500 outside the division and make up those games playing the Nationals.
Yeah, but you're not making up the games because the Mets and the Braves play them.
You're not playing for the NL East anymore. The Mets are too good. You're
playing
against
the Braves.
You are, but you're not playing for the division. I don't care what the Braves or Mets do outside of you. So
wow, I do.
You just have to get one of the wild cards.
Yeah, I do. You're like 3 games behind the Braves or 2.5. I absolutely care about what the Braves are doing because you can be ahead of them and you can maybe be hosting in the wild card instead of having to go on the road and play in the wild card. Why would you be writing off 2.5 games in June, in mid-June?
11 game road trip and you go 7-4. That's not a bad thing.
No.
I mean, 8-3 looks much, much better, but 7-4 going into it, you would say, and I know how did it happen? It happened where they took the 4 of the 5 from Washington. You hope that they take 2 from Texas, and with the injury now, you take advantage of a situation like that. But 7-4 going into an 11-game road trip, that's not bad at all.
You're 2.5 behind the Braves. It's June 20th.
No.
For God's sakes, I'm not writing off going, well, don't even worry about the Braves the rest of the year.
I can't.
You're
I'm not doing
2.5
that.
behind them.
It's not the Braves. It's the Mets.
No, but you want 2.5. You want to get by the Braves.
The Braves just
I don't-
lost
I
Ozzie
don't really
Albies, right?
care.
Yeah, Ozzie Albies is going to be out for a
broken
while.
hamate bone.
Yeah.
So look, 3-3. No.
You're 2.5
That ain't
behind the
it.
Giants right now.
All right.
That's another one. The second wild card, you're 2.5 behind them. You don't write off any of that stuff at this point. And I'm telling you too, if it gets to the division, you're 8 today. If it's 6 by 4th of July, I'm in to consider it could happen. Absolutely, it could happen.
Sure.
If it's 6,
Yeah.
get it down to a logical number because they're going to get healthier. But for the Phillies, you gave us a good week. Now you've got a great trip, and then next week you come home for a Braves series next week. That'll be a critical matchup in the National League East. So coming up, off seasons versus regular seasons. I have a controversial take for you. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. And we are getting so excited for this year's away game trip with the Birds, with our friends from Philly Sports Trips. Who else will we travel with? If you haven't joined us before, make this the year that you do. We want every Birds fan to experience a great getaway with Vince and the entire crew from Philly Sports Trips. They do it the best for you because they take care of everything. Hotel, air, transfers, great parties, and just the best vibe. And if you have tickets on your own, if you have hotel on your own, and you just want to join Philly Sports Trips for the parties out there with us, you can do it. Go to phillysportstrips.com and take advantage of things a la carte along the way. They have other great Birds away game trips too, including Chicago, and amazing luxury party bus trips. If you want to go to D.C. and New York, you can do it too. Philly Sports Trips has got you covered. And since they take care of everything, you're just going for the fun, the game, and the party. So do it. Come with us to Arizona this year or go on one of the other great trips. Reserve your spot with a small deposit today at Philly Sports Trips. That's phillysportstrips.com.
The John Kincade Show.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOTOR for a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOTOR for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code MOTOR.
Hey, I'm Ariana. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Southwest Salad is when I take a bite, it's like, wow. I'm getting a punch from the roasted corn. I'm getting a kick from the spicy chicken. It's just great.
Hi, this is Tori. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the avocado lime dressing. It adds to the chicken, the bacon, and the roasted corn. It takes the salad to a whole nother level.
Order a salad for delivery on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. N72. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Let me be real with you people. The casino games on my Caesars Casino app are real. The slots are real. The blackjack is real. It's just like you're in a casino for real, which is awesome. But if I'm gonna be real, you can't feed other players to the Tigers when they win, and I miss that. So download the Caesars Casino app.
Download Caesars Casino app. Must be 21. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
If you have to towel off after you towel off, don't throw in the towel. Call your independent Delaware Valley trained comfort specialist for a new high-efficiency air conditioning system with whole-house air filtration. You'll get cooler, cleaner, and healthier air throughout your home and lower energy bills, too. So if your AC puts out more hot air than a politician, visit Train.com to find a Delaware Valley independent trained comfort specialist near you and ask about rebates and special financing offers. It's hard to stop a train. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for details.
It's one thing to build a truck. It's another to build a legacy. The Ford F-150. The only truck with an available class-exclusive Pro Power onboard generator. The only one with an available work surface in the front and the back. And the only one that is part of the F-Series lineup that has been the best-selling pickup for 45 straight years. Now, you can get special incentives when you build to order a new F-150. Inventory is arriving daily, so hurry in for best selection. Get to your local Ford store today.
At Armor Metals and Recycling, we pay top dollar for aluminum, copper, brass, wire, catalytic converters, batteries, and more. Whether it's left at a job site or left at the curb, if it's metal, we'll accept it. Armor's mobile service comes to you if you have over 500 pounds of non-ferrous metal. Armor can handle your e-cycling needs too, like computers, cell phones, and more. We take it all. Located at 8300 National Highway behind Pennsauken High School and at ArmorMetalsRecycling.com. Armor Metals, your trusted recycling partner.
Hey, it's Mike Miss here. You know, Philly sports is a big business, and we've got you covered every weekday with the Fanatic's Business of Sports Reports, powered by Pico for Business. For information on how your company can save with Pico's incentives, go to pico.com/business.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. The John Kincade Show.
The show's a hit. Yes, the critics love it.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Hope your Monday's off to a great start. We're off to an early start for the 7 o'clock hour. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. Our 7 a.m. hour is brought to you by the all-new Bet Parks app. Sportsbook and casino in one sleek, easy-to-use app in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. You can be wagering on anything you wish. The Stanley Cup Finals are still going on. It still seems strange to me that the Stanley Cup Finals go later than the NBA Finals. It just doesn't. I'm in the Mark Cuban school.
Yeah.
I want the NBA Finals.
And they start
to end.
early. NHL starts earlier anyway. So
This year they started later
right, because
of the COVID stuff.
And the Olympic thing.
And the Olympic thing.
Yeah, so it pushes that. That's why.
I want NBA to end right around NFL training camp.
Yeah, see, I'm traditional with that, and I know what we had the last couple of seasons, but I like it. I like it the way it is. I like the start in October for training camp, preseason, mid-October get the NBA. Now I was used to November start, first, second, third.
Right.
Then they pushed it up a little bit earlier, and I was okay with it. I don't want the December start. I don't want that. I don't know. And look, I'm a big, me.
Yeah, but December start's going to still push into late July.
And I was into it. I was into it, but I said I like it the way it is.
You like it back the way it is.
Do you want to cut games too?
No, I do not.
82 and down to 72.
No,
or
I'm
70?
fine with it. It's the players that seem like they're very, don't want to go to work. It's like even with all the built-in days that LeBron and his crew pushed for.
Sure.
Players still took more days off this year than they did the previous
Yeah,
year.
and
I don't understand it. So you beg for the schedule to be stretched out. That's the reason we have to take these maintenance days.
Right.
And then players still do the same crap.
Yeah, and I was really I was a little concerned of how easy it was for it to happen the way that it has with so many days off. And I know guys need days off from time to time, right? It's take toll on your body and all that stuff, but
it didn't in previous generations.
Right. I'm like,
right. I mean, previous generations, they played in a more compact schedule, and they somehow managed to play, and their legs didn't fall
very physical,
off.
But look, these guys are really, really athletic and stuff that they do, and they're training year-round. most of them.
So these guys are in better shape, better suited to be able to do what the guys used to do.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that it happens as much as it does.
Maybe they see some of the older guys hobbling around. They say, we don't want to be that guy.
So having that Thursday off is going to do it
maybe.
all. He's going to be able to do that.
I'm just, playing devil's advocate. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, it's going to sound like blasphemy, but I'm finding it to be true, and it feeds off that last conversation. To me, in sports like hockey, the NBA, off seasons are becoming almost more interesting to me as far as talking points, discussion, and what I do for a living to me than regular seasons.
How so?
The regular seasons is they decide when to throw away games, and we don't care if we finish fourth. We finish fourth. We think we can win. If we finish third, we're not trying to win every night. The number one seed doesn't matter to us. Milwaukee's shown that 3 years in a row. They don't care about the number one seed. Boston this year literally manipulated how they would go because they wanted to. It's weird.
Yeah, it's not there for me. There's so many games, and I'm so into the league itself that even if I'm paying attention to the local squad, and I'm still able to focus on all the other storylines that are going on around the league, that I'm still all in, and nothing from the offseason outside of what we're getting ready for later in the week, the draft, trade possibilities, the following
free
week, agency. We have a window of about 3 weeks that will carry us where I'm all in, but then after that, it's really, really dry. So that's why the offseason is not as interesting to me.
But
as
are the discussions
season.
Of the offseason more interesting than the discussions of the season?
For 3 weeks.
Yeah.
For 3
think
weeks.
It's too small.
I have so much that I can get into discussion point-wise during the season, even if it's not just our local teams. I can go to Milwaukee. I can go to
Brooklyn,
Tampa. I can go to Brooklyn. I can go wherever and find these storylines that I find, as a sports fan, interesting, because I'm not just isolated to what is happening here. I can find something that that catches my attention elsewhere around the leagues.
The 2 months that you have lead up to the season sucks. There's nothing going on.
Not to mention we're taking off because of it.
And we're not in a situation where we care about the summer league anymore. There was the process era where you did because you wanted to see
and that was
some of
all.
These younger guys. Does anyone care about seeing Jaden Springer?
No.
I don't. If they use the 23rd pick,
no.
Deep down, I know that he's not going to get any playing time anyway. At least in Philly, if you're a fan of the Delaware Bluecoats, you probably do care about summer league because you're going to see that guy a lot. But unfortunately, the 2 months leading up to it, I don't care. There's nothing going on.
What about an NFL offseason? What do you think about that?
The worst.
As far
one.
as you think it's the worst one?
The worst one.
Wow, I love NFL offseason.
Yeah, but for how long?
It's an entirely different. Draft is literally 2 months of storylines. Free agency is more like 10 days, 2 weeks. And then what you get when you get the team together and they're working, you're seeing stuff. And then we've seen two really solid signings since the draft.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. The NFL has learned to make it a 12-month-a-year league. It's not as much for me as though the NFL regular season, to me, is absolutely gripping, must-see. Don't even get me into baseball. 162, which I do think is ridiculous in today's day and age.
Okay.
Yeah.
162 is
right. Not nearly enough games. We've got to get to 200.
Way too many games.
Couldn't disagree with you more about the NFL's offseason being 12 months out of the year.
Really?
To me, it's not even close. No. It feels like an eternity from the last game
until
the next game. Yeah, you have the draft, and they'll try to hype up the combine. And I'm just talking about me personally. I don't give a damn about the combine, and they'll hype it up, and then you'll get free agency, and free agency is exciting for about 2 weeks, and then finally, and then after about that 2 weeks, then you have a month and a half before the draft. The draft is exciting.
You do know you're the oddball on that.
But I understand.
Nationwide.
I don't give it. I could not care less about OTAs. The over talking about training camp in our industry is absurd. When I started here at this station, and this is previous program directors, we were having hourly calls from training camp to tell us about plays.
What?
Oh, Hank Baskett had a good catch.
No.
It's overkill. So it gets to the point where I'm I could not care less. Baseball I actually do because they do string it out. Where I mean, for every day we sat there and went, is Bryce Harper signing today? Is Manny Machado signing today? And look, it got tiresome. But once Manny Machado signed, it was like, well, now the onus is on the Phillies. They got to do something. There's never a doubt that something could happen in the MLB's offseason, whereas football, the Tart signing's nice, but like, are we going to be talking about it in 3 days?
No,
probably not.
No, and that's the other part of it. When you look at what they're doing right now, what did we say earlier? We're not talking about them. Is that good or bad? It's a good thing because we think they're going to be good.
Yeah,
and we don't have to go any further right now as to what they're going to do, because, I mean, look, at this point of the offseason, we're getting closer to the start of training camp. But right now, this is where that's going to be that downtime. So I don't think the offseasons, and that's why we love sports, because there's always something. But it doesn't mean for me that the offseason is becoming as much as interesting as it is during the regular season. Not for this one now. Maybe when we were looking at the teams we thought were going to win in the early 2000s with the McNabb, Westbrook, Dawkins, those teams, there always seem to be something to talk about with those teams. And it didn't have to be a new addition, even though it would be Javon Curse and Terrell Owens coming in. But they were just, you knew that they were a contender. Now with the Sixers, same thing for a while, but you can also get a little tired of that a little bit, just because, all right, we think they're going to be a second-round team, and they should be better. They're going to frustrate us, but they're still going to be a second-round team. The offseason is fun, but not as fun as the regular season. There are pockets. There are really good pockets of interesting things in the offseason.
For every sport other than baseball, because baseball's draft is in mid-season, but for every sport other than baseball, I would say when your team's bad, it's actually the offseason way more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see these training camps. You want to see the summer leagues or whatnot, because you want to see the young guys grow. But in terms of the Sixers and the Eagles, like, you think those teams are going to be good, so it's like, all right, just get me to meaningful games. But I don't really care about the growth.
Like the NBA Finals averaged around 13 million viewers on ABC. 13 million. It would peak at 15, drop to 11, but the average was the most people around 13 million watching. NFL draft, they got around 10.5, 11 million for the draft. And it's a good number for the NBA. It was down, though. Down from what they expected. But still, 13 million is a very respectable number. 13 million Americans.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also too late.
And we know the draft.
It's too late.
We know how the draft is built up, too. And you talk about the way it's built up. People are going to check in, and everyone wants to know what is my team doing? Who did my team get? So, yeah, you're going to get those types of people, that number of people in the check-in on the draft. That's what it is. Now, the NBA draft this week, I don't know, especially when you don't know who the players are like you used to coming out of college.
If the NBA draft gets 5 million, I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if it gets 5.
I didn't watch any team not named Temple, and I'll be watching the NBA draft. I mean, maybe I'm an enigma, but it will be interesting to see the numbers. I am interested in that, because with the NBA Finals, you've really only got 2 teams. And then you've got people like Devon, who are like basketball heads, who will watch it. Whereas the NFL draft, you've got every team basically involved. Every fan base is interested to see who their teams get. You know, my friends who only like the Sixers, they're not watching the NBA Finals because they don't care.
Because they're Sixers fans, not NBA fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, all right, do I want to see Boston win? No. Hell no. Do I want to see Golden State win their 4th? Probably not. So they're not dialed into that. They're more likely actually to watch the Stanley Cup now that Colorado's up 2-0 just to see a change. But when you got the drafts, it's like every team's involved. Every fan base has skin in the game.
Connor, I want to ask you something as a big hitter. Conspiracy theory on Matt Fitzpatrick. Did you see his 3-wood yesterday?
No, I didn't.
305 yards.
Huh. All right.
Okay, the average person on the PGA Tour hits their 3-wood from PGA's official numbers, 249 yards.
Yeah, the adrenaline was pumping. What are you thinking?
305 yards?
You're saying it's like
Do you see the distance he was getting?
It's a grand British conspiracy to take over the U.S. Open?
I'm just saying. That's a weird. He had some distance that was crazy.
I don't know.
And it was crazy above blowing away the PGA average, like blowing it away by club by like 20 yards, 40 yards.
It was pretty windy,
he went 55 yards over. But it wasn't affecting. It wasn't affecting 305 yards with a 3-wood.
Yeah,
is incredibly That's crazy.
Dude must have been juiced up. I don't know. Not like juiced up that way, like just adrenaline-wise.
He's just juiced adrenaline-wise?
I don't think. Golf is so ticky-tack with everything.
Like but they don't have a good testing program. So they're not ticky-tack on that.
No, they're not? Okay.
No, they're not. They don't
I
test
figured they would be.
No, they're not good. Their testing program is not the same as it would be for others. He's just he was getting distance. Like I said, I'm reading one piece here that on average, his was 30 yards. He was getting 33 yards further than the club average on the PGA Tour.
Well, John.
All weekend.
John, no one would ever cheat at golf. Golf, if there's anything about golf, it's the game that everyone always plays truthfully.
Yeah, but you can't be caught.
It's not even close to being accurate. I think everyone cheats at golf.
Hey, crystal clear lakes, trout-filled streams, wide sandy beaches. Maine's got them for you. It's summer and the water's calling. Visit Maine.com. This message is sponsored to you by the Maine Office of Tourism. We will have John Tortorella, Flyers coach, joining us. You're going to get a chance to hear from him in interviews form coming up today at 8:30. Do not miss it here on the show. Time for Connor to get a little intervention. A little social media intervention. Devon, you have a very calm, cool way of going about it. Pat and I tend to be more like jackhammers, coming out our sledgehammers with it.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, you need a social media intervention.
Hello. I kindly disagree.
Connor was tweeting yesterday while he was playing a softball game. Okay, Connor.
That's a power move.
Who were you tweeting for?
Well,
during the softball game when you were tweeting after your first at bat in the middle of a game. Who were you tweeting for? Who was that tweet for?
Well, John, if I remember correctly, when I came in to work last week, one of the first things you asked me on the air was, how did softball go this past weekend? So clearly, you and other people were interested if I was going to continue to walk or if the criticism of me taking walks in softball was going to change my approach at the plate. And I just wanted everyone to know.
Breaking news was necessary during a game.
Yeah, well, I mean.
A softball game. A beer league softball game we're talking about. We're having a tweet by at bat. That's a little
wasn't
odd.
a tweet by it.
Yes, it was. You had your first at bat in a softball game. In a pickup softball game. Oh, no, it's a league. You have your T-shirts.
Yeah, it's not,
you have T-shirts. They have T-shirts.
They have T-shirts.
So they have T-shirts.
You know what? One time you're going to come out and watch this league, and then there's going to be an apology.
Are you going to be tweeting while you're out there watching this game?
Yes, I'll be like the beat reporters going, incomplete pass from Jalen Hurts during a 7-on-7 drill. I mean, this is the Devon.
I'm different. You know me. I'm different. I tweet very rarely about.
But yours are impactful.
I hope so. I try. I try to, but yeah, I'm not in my leagues or when I'm playing pickup.
Come on, Connor.
I'm not. I might check my phone, but I'm not tweeting. No.
Devon in the middle of a game, 3 for 8 from 3. Man, I am smoking tonight.
Yeah.
Second half coming up. Well, where are you playing, Devon? Oh, we're down the courts here at St. Joe's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Connor, you're getting this here. You're getting it though. A little bit.
I could not disagree with you more. This is a power move by Connor. First of all. What did you tweet again?
I tweeted that my first at bat, I took a walk. I didn't see a strike, and yes, I feel great about it.
Okay, so if I'm the opposing pitcher and I just walked a guy in softball and I look over and he's tweeting, it's living rent free in my head. That's ruining me, and I'm probably ushering a few more walks. Just giving them out at this point.
Were you tweeting on the base paths?
No. So the next guy hit into a ground ball to a shortstop. So I got out at second base, and I immediately tweeted when I went back to the bench.
He immediately tweeted.
Where's your phone?
My phone was sitting on the bench. I don't carry my phone with me.
Okay. I've probably tweeted from the bench before. I've definitely watched sporting events from the bench.
You've watched sporting events?
Yeah. Like,
but have you tweeted about yourself during a game?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe.
No, but do you think anyone cares?
Maybe
during the game?
Well, I don't look. There's an unfollow button. You can hit it. I mean, I warn you on my profile. I wouldn't follow me, so you shouldn't either. I mean, I don't really give a damn if you care or not. I'm going to put it out there. If I'm going out there and tripping over the blue line, I want to warn you. It's slippery.
Where was the second at bat tweet?
There was no second at bat tweet.
Third at bat tweet.
Did I have a third at bat?
Was there a link to the post game show?
No, there wasn't. I didn't play the whole game. I had to leave early to go to Father's Day lunch. So I had 3 at bats. The second one was a hit. The third one I flew out.
So you left to go to Father's Day lunch, which is a good son there.
Yeah,
that's a very good son there. Did the team win?
Yeah, they won.
The team win there.
That's
So
a good
you were
win.
killing him last week for his photos.
I thought we were going there again because
Well, you're killing
he
him for the
tweeted.
photos.
Yeah, he tweeted. No, he didn't tweet. He put on Instagram a photo of him and his boys, the douche crew, at some bar, right? Because we got to get a picture of all of us bros, right? We're hanging out. We're at the
My
bar.
buddy from D.C. was visiting,
And
we wanted to take a picture together.
it actually was a funny photo because apparently you asked a drunk girl to take it, and the guy just walks right in front. So you've got this small gentleman right in front, just photobombing. And
You're calling him small.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, Connor backed me up.
Yeah, it was small.
Yeah, I thought that's where we were going with Connor getting pics with the douche crew, but
A little different.
Do you
Well, we
not
weren't.
take pictures with your friends?
I don't have friends.
Okay. Well,
I think we've established that.
You mean it scoops? You don't like... just
No,
go
I
on and
tried
get the whole
tried
crew?
making them, but I don't have them. No, I don't, when I go out with my buddies, we don't have to take pictures every time. We don't.
we don't every time. Every once in a
Yeah.
while when my buddies
if we do,
visiting
we
from
keep
out
it
of town.
for
How
us.
many were
Yeah.
how many
Keep
were
it for us.
shirts buttoned?
I think
Of
I
the
was wearing
crew.
a T-shirt.
There you
I
go.
don't-
You were
I
wearing a
don't
T-shirt.
Remember?
Devon wants to know if the local teams have something that's necessary to succeed. What is it, Devon?
Yeah, the leadership. Do we have the necessary leadership? You talk about John Tortorella coming in.
Yes.
Coming on the show
Very
a little
excited.
bit later, and excited about that. Stepping in, the Flyers organization. We brought up Doc Rivers and Nick Sirianni, right? All of that, and we have Rob Thompson doing what he's doing. And then you even go a little bit higher, and you have the questions about the executives and the ownership. Because while we do talk about some really good things with even, as much as we get on Doc Rivers for the postseason and even post-game stuff, but you also look at some that say, Josh Harris, will you ever win with Josh Harris? Does he care about winning? And leadership.
I think I've said that.
Yes, you have. And leadership can go a lot of different ways. From Joel Embiid, to your point,
Absolutely.
a little bit earlier, do we have the necessary leadership in each of these franchises?
When you think leadership,
to do that,
what's the first thing that comes to your mind, though? Are you thinking leadership is on the court, on the ice, on the field, or are you thinking it comes from the leadership that is either on the sideline coaching them or in the front office?
Yeah,
what
I
comes
think-
to mind first?
I first it does in the field of play.
Okay,
and then
'cause that's where mine goes
yes,
first.
Yes, first I go to field of play because that's where it's all happening. Everything can happen with the money and what happens when you sign everyone to these deals, but in the end, you have to perform. And do you have the right leadership on the field to make sure that stuff plays out? So when we think of the Eagles right now, we hear it all the time. Jalen Hurts is a very good leader. But will he connect, and will that now translate? And then the other part, what's helping him? Jason Kelsey. What's helping him? Is Nick Sirianni doing the right thing on the sideline to continue with his part of that leadership that goes into it to make it all happen?
What's your gut instinct? Because I am my opinion on Nick Sirianni has gone so far the opposite way.
He's a meter for me. He goes back and forth.
I'm so impressed, though, with his connection, his ability to connect.
His ability to connect, it seems good, but then sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know yet. It's
Okay.
still too soon.
I got you.
They won last season, but they had to have this great run to turn it around, so I don't know. He does some weird things that they seem to connect with. I don't know that I would connect with it. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. But the way that is delivered to us, I'm like, all right, that's a little bit different. But sometimes you do need different for it to work. And he understands what's happening in his locker room to say better. I like him. I don't love him. But I still have time to figure it out with Nick Sirianni of who he is.
I'm about the same as you. I like him, don't love him, don't know enough about him yet.
Yep.
So you feel the same way?
It kind of reminds me of in the movie Bull Durham, like you can win 20 games in the show and people will think you're colorful if you have mold on your shoes, but if you don't win 20 games, you're a slob. Like if you're winning and you're getting the playoffs and you're doing all these cheesy things like rock, paper, scissors and, having a little Nerf basketball and having that's great. Love it, right? If you're going 4 and 13,
not nearly as
no,
charming,
that's not cute. Like that's just cheesy and get it together. So I lean towards I like him.
I do.
I just don't know how good he is.
Right.
And I do like the fact that he had the wherewithal to go, what I'm doing is not working, and I'm paying Shane Steichen to be an offensive coordinator. Let's see if he's got any idea. That's what he's there for. Rely on him. I do like that aspect. But I'm willing to give him a break until we find out, A, how good Jalen Hurts is, and B, if he's not that good, who Nick Sirianni's handpicked guy is.
I'm shocked at the amount of people who still don't believe, though, that he made that move, that the front office made it. I believe he made
the Steichen move.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That because I still go by
That's good then.
I still go by the belief that he did it But there's a lot of people who, even people more connected, that tell me, I think that came from upstairs.
But see, I need him to know. And look, it was year one, so he's not going to be perfect, right?
Exactly.
And even Emi Udoka, when we watch him year one, not perfect. They didn't win, but they did a lot of great things. Because, like, look, John, if you don't know, Pat knows, Connor knows, I can't stand Derek Barnett. And this has been like 3 years running. This is not new for me.
That's your boy.
Right. And the thing for me has always been, why is he never penalized for this? And I know that they don't have great defensive ends.
It's always him, right? Well, wasn't that the line?
But that's where I was going. When he finally said it's always him, I could not stand his first answer of, oh, well, you know, he has a new lease on life that basically we're going to give everybody an opportunity. My man, you need to address this now. You need to make sure this is – and then when it kept happening, it's always him. Well, what are you going to do about it? And
bring him back with a raise?
And that bothered me. But what are you going to do? Who are you as a leader to make sure this does not happen anymore?
I have an odd trust with him. We're going to talk more about it later on, but I have and I'm almost thinking like I'm going to get suckered. That I'm going too fast.
Well, again, 9 and what?
9 and 8.
9 and 8 versus 6 and 11.
Any rookie coach that makes the postseason, to me, you get an A. You get an A. First year, you came in, you got an A. Now, see what you can do with it. But he sort of has me on the hook. I don't want to get suckered, but he's got me on the hook.
Okay.
You know, FanFest 2022 is scheduled Saturday, October 1st, Pat. Put it on your calendar from 1 to 5 at Xfinity Live. We look forward to seeing you there. You got to be 21 to enter. Stay tuned to The Fanatic for updates on special guests, events, and all the fun for that day. And we've got a pair of tickets to give away. In fact, we're going to give away 2 pairs of tickets right now at 215-263-0975. 215-263-0975. You need a pair of FanFest tickets. You can get in. In fact, the first 2 callers will talk to Haley this morning and just say, Haley, I want to go to FanFest 2022, and she'll get you hooked up with tickets. Got 2 different pairs of tickets to give away coming up right now, so you can get in on that. We got a lot coming your way, including John Tortorella. You'll hear his first interview with us coming up in an hour here on The Fanatic, so do not miss it. But first, I'm going to tell you why I'm more bought in on him than ever, and an interesting story that I was told this weekend. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. That BetParks app, if you're in Pennsylvania or New Jersey, you now have the beauty of using the BetParks app. That BetParks Casino and Sportsbook app is absolutely sleek. It's beautiful, and you can get your first bet risk-free up to $750. If you want to bet on baseball, you don't have to just bet on the score. You can bet on individual player performances. I am terrible on betting the score. Betting over-unders. It's not good for me. But individual player performances, hits, home runs, strikeouts, that's been far more successful. You have the ability to bet on anything that you wish. It's got the odds, it's got the bets, it's got the slots in the games all together. You can bet futures bets for the NFL season coming up and for college football. You want to get loaded in now, and you're going to get your first bet risk-free up to $750 when you use the promo code Kincade. Get on in now. Download the app. Go to betparks.com. You must be 21, and you have to be in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
Say it. I'll say it. Loser, putz, dork, doof, dink, schmo, dingus, goober.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. The biggest party of the year for Philadelphia sports fans is back.
Oh, my God!
97.5 The Fanatics FanFest 2022. Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live.
Put it on your calendar and make plans now to be there.
Let's just go. All of The Fanatic hosts celebrity guests, interactive activities, and attractions.
And lots of food and drinks.
97.5 The Fanatics FanFest 2022. Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live.
The countdown is on.
This is a free event, but you will need a ticket to attend.
Keep listening for ticket giveaways, ticket rate information, and more special announcements.
Must be 21 or older to attend.
97.5 The Fanatics FanFest 2022. Be there.
When it comes to cybersecurity, the biggest threats don't always strike the biggest targets. Almost half of all cyber attacks target small businesses, so help protect yours with Comcast Business Security Edge. It's advanced security that continuously scans for threats and helps protect every connected device. The choice is clear. Get unbeatable business solutions from the most innovative company, so you can be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
There's never been a better time to get gig speed internet and advanced security from Comcast Business. And now, for a limited time only, get 3 months on us. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to learn more. And 6/22/2022. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 1 gigabit internet security edge. 1 voice line and Connection Pro customers only. 3-year contract required. 3 months on us after prepaid card redemption. Most innovative based on American Business 2021 Gold Stevie Award.
Even the cleanest kitchen has a dirty little secret, that disgusting soggy sponge sitting in the sink.
It's gross. It smells, and according to research, it can be 200,000 times dirtier than a toilet seat.
Ick! Hi, she's Linda.
She's Allison, and we created Skr-style sponges because we were sick of ick. The dirty little secret about regular sponges is that they are a breeding ground for bacteria, and they stink.
In more ways than one.
But Skr-style sponges are made of a patented polyurethane foam and are antimicrobial, so they dry fast and don't smell. Plus, our fade-to-change design tells you when it's time to replace them.
And with our easy subscription plans, they're delivered right to your door. Go to Skr-style.com now, enter radio in the promo box, and get your first month free.
Just pay shipping. You can cancel at any time. That's SKURA style.com. And try the sponge scene on the Today Show that was called life-changing. That's Skr Style, SKURA style.com. Promo code radio.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
If you've ever ordered food for work, you understand. It's different. There's just so much more at stake. Whether it's a meeting, a client call, or lunch with the office that has to arrive at the actual lunchtime, food for work has to work. That's why there's EasyCater. Food that's on time and as ordered from over 82,000 restaurants. And if there's a problem, rare, you can reach someone in seconds.
Thank you for calling EasyCater.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but EasyCater just does. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
20,000 bonus points, 18.99% variable APR, and a $32 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 50. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved over 50% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma. Apply with more confidence. Member approval rates in 2021 over 50% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
High efficiency equipment for lower bills, special financing, and rebates on qualifying systems.
What?
Oh, I'm trying to memorize something I heard on the radio. Peace of mind warranties.
Why?
Because our AC is on its last leg, and I need to convince you to call a Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning contractor.
No, you don't. I heard the same ad, and you forgot cleaner, healthier air.
Pierce Phelps Bryant will do whatever it takes to keep you comfortable. To find a local Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning dealer near you, visit nopaybryant.com.
Bryant.
Whatever it takes.
For the first time in 25 years, the Doobie Brothers, Tom Johnston, Michael McDonald, Pat Simmons, and John McPhee, 50th Anniversary Tour.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, the Doobie Brothers. This Thursday at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
Don't be the guy with the grass that's overgrown and yellowing, weeds coming up everywhere. Be the envy of your neighbors with the help from my friends over at Lawn and Golf Supply Company in Phoenixville, because they're the experts when it comes to all of your outdoor power equipment needs. Forget those big box stores where you can't even find somebody to talk to. Get dealer exclusives from all the top brands like Stinger, DeWalt, Turf War, Red Max, and more. I got a Cub Cadet from Lawn and Golf, and the thing is great. Lawn and Golf has a huge selection of outdoor power equipment in stock. Zero-turn mowers, riding tractors, handheld power equipment, whatever you need to dominate your yard this summer, you can get from my guys over at Lawn and Golf Supply Company in Phoenixville. From residential to commercial, Lawn and Golf is the leader in outdoor power equipment. Plus, Lawn and Golf Service Department can fix any make and model of equipment and get you back up and running in no time. Right now, Fanatic listeners get free delivery on any new equipment purchase. Just mention the Fanatic and get free delivery with your purchase. Visit lawn-golf.com. Lawn and Golf Supply Company. Everything turf.
The John Kincade Show.
What matters is what the fans are saying on Twitter and other social media platforms. The true barometer of success.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. So, Pat, we have to answer some internet rumors or something.
People think Jamie was fired.
Jamie's on the beach.
Yeah,
permanently.
Because he got fired.
Jamie's on the beach. Pat, you're not supposed to let them announce that.
Well, I usually wait till Crossing Broad announces it for us.
Yeah, I mean, so that
spoiler alert.
This saves the Jamie has been fired discussion. Yes, that really was out there. People doing.
We got tired of him exposing himself,
picking at things.
I mean, me and Jamie had sex one time, and he tried to make it two.
Have either of you ever been pulled?
Yeah, it got too much, so we had to let him go. So he's gonna head down to Fayetteville and work with Pebbles.
He's working with Pebbles and Bam Bam in the morning.
That's that new show, the Bro and Pebbles morning show in Fayetteville starts in September. And until then, he's just living life.
He's actually changed his name.
I'm a Big Woody.
He's going to be Big Woody in the morning.
Okay.
Well, the Woody show apparently isn't working out too well, so might as well change it to the Big Woody show.
Well, I would tell you that there is a young lady who listens to the show. Well, she listens to the show mainly because her husband emails me, because she listens because he has control of the radio because it's his car. He drives her to work, and we're his morning show, so she has to listen. She heard our conversation earlier about the DJs going by their aliases in real life. And he quotes her that there used to be this really big, douchey FM DJ in town who went to the bank where she first worked. And he would come in and be, yes, I'm blank.
Yes.
And he even had it on his checks.
Yes.
Customized checks. Really?
Yes.
On your checks?
Yes.
Your alias is on your checks?
Hey, that's weird.
Not everybody's the same, man.
That's weird, but it's the checks.
Yeah, but like you go to the bank and you're like in character. Yeah, everybody, it's Scooby-Doo in the morning.
Why is this surprising, though? That
It is
people
surprising
think
to
like
me.
that.
It is surprising.
That doesn't surprise me. It's weird.
It
but
doesn't
it's not
surprise you, though.
surprising. No, not at all.
And she said this guy used to constantly tell her when she was single that he could get her concert tickets and stuff like that, or have her in studio sometime.
See?
Ooh, yeah.
See?
Crockett.
Yeah. That's what all the girls want, is to come in studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
I tell no one.
By the way,
what I do.
I mean, it's
I tell no one. I just walk around. Mind my business.
I tell him I'm a CPA.
There you go.
Just to be clear, by the way, Jamie is on vacation.
He's on vacation.
Yeah.
Permanently on vacation.
Yeah, he's on vacation.
Forever.
No, he's on vacation.
He's
He'll
on
be back.
vacation.
When's he coming back?
Never coming back.
He'll be back next week.
Next week, okay.
He'll be back next week.
Yeah.
He's enjoying a well-rested week at the beach. So Jamie will be back.
You think you're excited? Feel these nipples.
Yes, that's what got Jamie. That's what got him his 1 week suspension that we're pretending is a vacation.
But it also is what's keeping him employed.
There you go.
Ironically.
It is strange. John Tortorella makes his Philly sports radio debut in an hour here on the show. And I want to make this show to be a place where he doesn't cringe at coming on. But I certainly never seek to make any radio show that I do a safe space from legit questioning. But the more research that I've done on John Tortorella, and I had quite a few opportunities to watch his teams interact with him in a press conference setting and stuff like that, I now understand completely the rationale behind bringing him in. And it was weird. I'm going to give you two comments that were offered to me on John Tortorella. One of them being is that his greatest coaching job, which no one will ever say, wasn't getting his name engraved on the Stanley Cup. It was making the Columbus Blue Jackets viable night in, night out in their style of play. And another person telling me when he took over the Blue Jackets, this team was not really that far above where the Flyers are right now. And he made them at least a respectable, competitive product that then ascended to being a playoff team. And he created even greater passion within the Columbus community for that team. I got to tell you that's impressive to me because I had observed him more when he was in Tampa. And then some of the Rangers time. I'm impressed. That's an impressive.
Can he get it done here? That's the question.
I don't know why he couldn't if he can get it done there.
And not just
He
him.
didn't, though.
It's
Yeah,
about.
but
He didn't. I mean, everything you described. I'm sorry to cut you off, Devon.
No,
everything
go.
you described, it's like, that's kind of where the Flyers were. Oh, great. We're good enough to get to the playoffs and not do anything with it. Columbus was never a real viable Stanley Cup team. They swept Tampa Bay.
Which was that's the crowning
And that's
moment.
the best thing that they've done. And then they proceeded to get whooped the next round.
Should
and
they
it
have
woke
been
up
better?
Tampa Bay.
Should they have been
They
better?
shouldn't have beaten Tampa Bay.
Probably
Right.
not. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Like, to John's
And they
point,
did.
he was able to get the most out of that team. But if you're able to get the most out of this Flyers team, like, what is that?
Well, the thing
because
is,
at this point, the fan base is done hearing, like, oh, we can be viable. The fan base wants championships.
The thing is, though, is if he is a guy who is known for getting the most out of his roster, then to me, then it's up on everybody else's job to surround him with the talent to work with. Because here's one for you too, is a John Tortorella team, and this is from one of his most vocal critics in Tampa, who loved him, but criticized him. Loved his performance, but criticized him. And he wrote in a piece, and he wrote it about the job he was doing in Columbus, is that one thing about John Tortorella teams is that rarely people say about them, boy, this crew's underachieving. And that, to me, is the greatest testament to a coach. Is that he's not getting his teams don't underachieve. If he's expected to get if he can get this much out of a team, he's gonna maximize what he's got.
And I agree that now it's on obviously the players, but also upstairs to make sure that they get it done to give him the necessary pieces for them to compete and go further than what we've seen in these past couple of seasons. I agree. And I'm excited about it. But again, like we talked about on Friday, at what point do we stop getting excited about that and excited about what's on the ice and what they do? So Chuck Fletcher is now the one that we're going to shift our focus to, and we should.
And the fact that Chuck Fletcher really didn't hire him tells me that John Tortorella comes in here and does a good job. They're probably going to find somebody who would work well with Tortorella. Isn't it?
Makes sense.
Pat, you're a bit of a wet blanket on this, and I don't think. But the thing is, though, I don't think I'm not criticizing your opinion because I understand where it's coming from, and it's very legit. It's legit. But right now, this is he is taking over an absolute pile of garbage. Like, I mean, it's not good, and no one in NHL circles thinks he should come in here and be able to whip this team into being an 8 seed next year.
No.
So I mean,
look, he's a good coach. I don't think this is a good fit because of that. Because I think the expectation from the fan base is
turn around.
Yeah,
right away.
Like this kind of proves the point that the Flyers really believe this is 1 or 2 players away, injury excuses, like everything you've heard, and they're in denial. Like this team needs a developmental coach. They need a guy that's going to build it up. Torts is a win now coach. That's why, he will be able to get them probably back to contention. But is he going to be able to get them over the hump? Like, I don't think so. And it's not going to be because of his fault. It's going to be because of, I don't think Chuck Fletcher's the right guy for the job.
Well, then this doesn't have anything to do with Tortorella.
No, it doesn't. My fault with this hire has nothing to do with Tortorella. Right. It's just I think he's the wrong guy for this current team.
Hey, protect your home with DryTech waterproofing solutions. Fanatic listeners are going to get 15% off when you mention the Kincade show. So tell them that you listen. They're going to give you 15% off. If you got water in your basement, cracks in your foundation, or you need mold remediation, trust the experts at DryTech. DryTechCorp.com. Again, John Tortorella joins us bottom of the next hour. In Pat's point of view, he did it again.
This is Pat's point of view. Here's Pat.
Here's Pat.
Hello.
Devon, that's because it's Pat's point of view.
How you doing?
Me. Hi.
Yes.
Monday.
Cool.
So Howie Roseman did it again. He got a signing in the late offseason that we all sit back and we all like.
I do.
This is
we all agree.
This is quickly becoming one of his best traits. It's his ability to find undervalued talent, sign them to a 1 to 2 year deal. Usually it's a 1 year deal, kind of a prove it deal where they can come in, they can showcase their ability, and they could possibly get a bigger payday. And we don't talk about it enough. His ability, and it goes back to his strength is the cap, but his ability to always have money left over to just play the long waiting game.
Patrick Robinson.
Yeah. Chris Long.
Yep.
Was another guy.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Like, Anthony Harris, I think was another. Steven Nelson, LeGarrette Blount. Like, his ability to sit back and just wait it out because all these other GMs are either in cap hell, they don't need the position. It's one of his best strengths. And
it's actually an amazing strength.
We sat here, a lot of us after the draft, and our big focus was, look, they did great. They killed it that weekend, but if there's one negative, they didn't address secondary. It's getting to the point where if there's, next season, if he's here and we're looking at this roster and they didn't address one key area after the draft, I'm not going to worry about it because it will get addressed eventually. He's not going to go in with a hole because he's going to have money left over and he's going to wait for some veteran who overvalued himself and he's just going to sign him to a 1 year deal.
That's what I came in with on Monday after the draft. After coming back from Vegas, we came back on Monday at one of the top of the hours. I said, why are people losing their poop over how he didn't address the secondary? He's going to address it.
Yes, but you also, part of it is, I think, John, is because you want the young secondary. All these years we've been waiting for them to address the young guy who is just going to continue to improve and grow with the defense and get better. And you keep letting these players go, and then we see him in all these different cities. Oh, I wanted him. Remember in 2016, that's the guy we wanted, and how he didn't address it. I think that's part of it. You want a young player coming in, and you saw him. And you want that need addressed right now because after free agency, they didn't do it, right? The start of free agency, the initial hit of free agency. And yes, while you get it on the second part of the back end of free agency, it is addressed. You want it in that moment. And that's why I think, and I don't fault people for that because there are a lot of talent. We talk about Anthony Hamilton, right?
Anthony Harris.
I mean, Kyle Hamilton. Sorry, yeah. Kyle Hamilton. A lot of us wanted Kyle Hamilton because you knew you needed a safety.
Yep.
Now, when you get Jordan Davis, all right, I get it. Right. So you adjust it and you now flip it and say, okay, now do the second part, which is what he's doing right now and what he did with James Bradbury as well.
It also gives you just an insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, it was Marcus Epps, and that's it.
And what if Epps does work out, but you still have Tart there and they keep him around and they're okay playing in the rotation that they're doing and can use him in different ways? It all worked out. He's done a phenomenal job. I give him credit. He annoys me a lot, and I think he's done a really good job.
Why do you find him annoying?
I find him annoying because of the draft stuff more than the other things. It's the misses on the drafts, and then when we hear the stories about how, especially when we have our own opinion of, he thinks he knows more than he does. So while he's great with that, why are you not listening to your football people when it comes to drafting this player?
Well, last two drafts have come a long way for me. Probably 14, 15 months ago, I was like, get rid of this guy. I'm not there anymore because he's had two strong drafts
last year.
Yeah, the way that he manipulated the Dolphins for their pick was a stroke of genius. And then he kind of did the same thing to the Saints this year to be able to get 2 first-round picks. I don't think that they're going to end up drafting a quarterback because I don't think the Saints or the Eagles are going to be that bad where they're going to be able to trade up. But who knows? I mean, his strengths are the cap and trades. But this is quickly becoming one of them, is his ability to just play the waiting game and not rush into signing the big-time fill-in-the-blank that they need. No, there's a veteran out here I think I can get.
That's why I can't understand the fans who, Devon, that are losing their stuff at the draft weekend going, yeah, well, we didn't address this. There's going to be nobody to play in the secondary. And I'm like,
I'm telling you,
he's going to do it.
I think it's because, number one, addressing it, and number two, where are the young studs that are coming out of Alabama now on my team at that position?
I got you.
Yes.
I mean, I get that. I say to those people, though, then that should be your gripe. Not the, I mean, I was hearing, you know they're going to be veterans there. He went young at other places. He went veterans. And he's not going to fill every hole every offseason.
No.
The Eagles have just had arguably the greatest offseason that on paper a franchise has had in the NFL in a long time. They're getting universal, just standing ovations. And it's not Dream Team, Pat, which is what I like.
Shout out to Vince Young for that one.
There you go. Good job. Hey, Devon, you were wondering about, filling holes.
Yeah.
Missing pieces.
Missing pieces. Like Tart, huh?
Yeah, it was a missing piece.
Missing piece. Jordan Davis, a missing piece maybe for this football team going forward as we get ready for the start of the campaign. And now with John Tortorella come in, we look at this roster and we say, how come you don't have a Connor McDavid or Austin Matthews, that young player that we talked about?
Yeah, that's my first question.
Right? Okay. Well, there you go. And
why don't you have the best player in the world?
Right. Why don't you get one of those players?
But if I were to ask you guys, you three, that there's something missing on the team to get you over the top. When we talk about the Sixers, and we'll get to them, of course, on the show, and we have all week because of the draft and free agency next week beginning. The Eagles, the Phillies, and with the Flyers. John, if I were to ask you, what's one missing? Pick one organization. One thing that they're missing that could elevate them to that next level that, of course, we all want to see them in.
Mine's going to shock you.
What is that?
I believe it is a young, innovative mind on the bench for the Sixers. I like Doc Rivers. I respect Doc Rivers. But I've watched enough coaches in the NBA that come in with
Taylor Jenkins with the Grizzlies.
Nick Nurse when he came in. I watched Mike Budenholzer. Nobody knew Mike Budenholzer when he arrived. I've seen enough no-names come in. And no disrespect by the no-names thing, but they weren't. They're respected in NBA circles, but not known. I think that's exactly what this franchise needs. A new set of eyes, a different approach.
For Sixer fans, was that on the back burner, though, only because you had a no-name in Brett Brown? He did the job that was asked of him, but he couldn't get them to the next spot.
Probably.
All right?
Yeah, probably.
And you want that veteran to come in.
That's what I would pick,
and get them over the top.
Okay. When we talked a little bit about Torts just now, you're kind of asking, in my opinion, Torts to win with a Brett Brown roster. And Brett Brown was a developmental coach. But it's interesting that he hasn't gotten another job.
No, not even a sniff.
He hasn't
even interviews.
That
we've heard of.
And that's the problem with sometimes going after these no-name guys. Is
got to get the right one.
You got to get the. But
there's been so many of them hitting though.
That's the most frustrating part. Is you've looked around the NBA and it's, the Emi Udoka and then Monty Williams, and now you've got other guys getting interviews. It's like, damn.
But we're saying Budenholzer, Nurse.
Yeah, you got
who knew? Did you know who Taylor Jenkins was?
Of course.
Yeah.
No, hell no, I didn't know who Taylor Jenkins was.
He just got a multi-year deal again because of what he's done to turn that franchise around.
I am never afraid to say when I Google.
Yeah.
And I Googled. I thought
you don't know everything.
I thought Tart played for Seattle.
Okay.
I thought he was the Seattle Seahawk. I'm like, okay, he plays for Seattle, right? And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No, he's a 49er. And then I'm like, okay, I saw him make that. I go watch some highlights. I'm never afraid to say that. I think there's a lot of it, though.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys that are hitting that we don't know. Rob Thompson. Look right now.
Pat, what's missing?
Sixers, any
sport.
Any sport.
Oh, any sport. Huh. Flyers GM. I don't think they got the right guy.
Connor?
Get me a closer for this freaking baseball team, please. Why is that so hard to do?
And you really think that pushes them over the top?
I really do. Look at the lineup. Look at how they lose these games. If you had a guy you could give the ball to in the ninth inning, over and over and over and over again and trust him, like that changes the one-run game scenario.
So you're good with the setup people leading to that player?
Yeah, because that bumps everybody else down. You can then have, like, Sir Anthony doesn't have to be the closer. He could be the setup. Brad Hand could be the seventh inning guy. You have better matchup opportunity because those guys slot down. So, yeah, they're like that would make a huge difference for this team.
The minute that Brad Hand came in the other night, I said to my wife, I said, they're gonna blow this lead. They're gonna blow this lead.
Let me add another one, probably the obvious one to your question. Quarterback.
Yeah.
I know how you feel.
I'm not there, though.
Yeah, but a lot of people are where Pat is.
Oh, no. I think the majority are where Pat is.
Yeah, if you have
and I am not there.
You have a legit top 7 quarterback.
There's a reason why we say, hey, I'm jealous of Justin Herbert. Or I'm jealous.
Yeah, but getting one of those top 7 guys is relatively impossible.
Did not say it was easy. But the question was not how do you get it. The question was what is it missing? And correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that was
the
I
question.
don't want to put words in your mouth. So,
and if you're also giving Howie credit for things that he does, we've seen him do things that we didn't expect to move up in a certain spot where maybe Herbert is, since he's not a number 1 overall pick. And just using him as an example because he's young and he's talented and he has a lot going for him. His future looks bright. That is where Howie Roseman does come in, and you say he can identify that. If you jump early in the second to take Jalen Hurts, right, when you didn't have to, you can also move up, and we've seen you do it.
Guy says to me here, you're forgetting that he did have a chance to get a top quarterback. Could have gone to Houston. Who, you mean the quarterback who looks like he's going to be suspended for another full season?
Yeah, not that
hardest pass.
I mean, seriously, someone is actually going to throw Deshaun Watson at me?
My man.
And say Howie did not go get Deshaun Watson?
That's not it.
And pay $230 million in cash?
Not even close.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
No.
That's the worst take of your lifetime. I thank him for listening.
The quarterback, yes. Not now.
Just the talent wise.
Not the person.
Not now.
No, I mean
can't afford it.
You don't want that.
You can't afford him to be missing.
I hope that my opinions on Jalen Hurts are the worst take since Travis Fulgham.
So you want to be wrong.
Oh my God!
I want to
be so wrong.
No. Pat and Jamie both want to be wrong on this
because he's so damn likable.
Oh, he is.
He really is. Like everything that you want from a quarterback, a leadership, the work ethic, everything. He's got it.
Hey, the NBA draft's 3 days away. Devon's going to help get you ready for that in the next half hour. Plus, this obsession is just driving me nuts. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. If you're getting ready to move or you're organizing your garage, by the way, your neighbors have asked you to do so. It looks like something out of Sanford & Son. You got a bad attic full of stuff, too? You're remodeling the bathroom? Sounds like you're the perfect candidate to go grab yourself a Bagster. Bagster is the most convenient, the most affordable way to help with your cleanup. It's a great product. And it's a 3 cubic yard dumpster in a bag. You pick it up yourself, seriously, and you just have it in a package. You take it home. You can pick it up at local home improvement stores, Home Depots and Lowe's, and it's only $29.99. You open the Bagster up, take it out of the bag, and then it's ready to use. And you can fill this thing up. Whatever your cleanup plans are, whatever you're doing a remodel, you need someplace to put all the junk that you're going to be getting out of there, the Bagster will take it on. You go buy it, you fill it, and then you schedule your collection, and it's gone. And there's no time limit. If you want to have your Bagster for 3 days, 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, it's completely on demand. Go to Bagster.com to learn more. Find the store nearest you. Get some more details. John Kincade telling you, clean it up with the Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag.
The John Kincade Show.
This is not radio fantasy camp. We're on the air here.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Hey, it's John Kincade for Copair Health. You've heard me talking about Copair Health, COPAREhealth.com. And I am 8 weeks plus into the program, and I'm down 19 pounds. Now, I was looking to lose 28. I've only got 9 to go, and I may blow through that number with the great support that I get from Vance and the team at Copair. Vance coaches me up. He's gotten into the psychology of my eating and exercise and how to properly do things to melt away the pounds. And I got to tell you this, I'm feeling better, I'm sleeping better, and I'm making better decisions because Copair has taught me how. You want to learn? You want to drop the weight? Sure you do. Do it before football season. Go to Copair Health, COPAREhealth.com. And I don't want you to wait any longer. Copair is making June Men's Month. So for the rest of the month, mention John Kincade, 97.5 The Fanatic, and Copair will give you your first week free. You will love it. And it's free for a week. Call Copair now at 215-948-4648 or go to CopairHealth.com, COPAREhealth.com. You're going to feel better. You're going to live better with Copair.
Hey amigos, Becky G here to let you know that if you want it all just like I do, there's a new way to save with Xfinity Internet.
That's right. Now get Xfinity Internet with unlimited data, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free streaming box with your favorite entertainment. All for just $39.99 a month with a 2-year rate guarantee and no annual contract required. Switching to Xfinity has never been easier. It's risk-free, and you get all the Wi-Fi power your family needs for a house full of connected devices. And with everything you've got going on at home, you deserve internet that can keep up. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more.
Get an incredible value on unlimited internet and free streaming. Switch today.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Performance Pro Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Hey, kids, I'm going to Wawa. Anybody want anything? It's Hoagie Fest. Hoagie Fest is here.
So, classic meats fall and classic
Italian with cherry pepper relish. And a new picture frame.
Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Whatever your order, summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Limited time only. See store for exclusions.
Back by popular demand, Wawa and Chips Ahoy are teaming up again to bring you frozen handcrafted beverages that'll make your summer adventures epic. Like
going to the beach.
Going to the beach with a delicious and creamy Chips Ahoy milkshake. And
binging season 3 of that show.
Binging season 3 of that show with a tasty Chips Ahoy smoothie. Whatever you're doing this summer, make it epic. Chips Ahoy frozen handcrafted beverages are back and 20% off when you order and pay on the Wawa app.
Hi, I'm Flo from Progressive. You know me, I'm a huge football fan, but it can be stressful for us super fans. So Progressive is going to help take your mind off your team for a moment. Instead of thinking about how your team threw the wrong ball on the wrong net, just think about how Home Court Explorer lets you easily compare our direct rates with multiple companies. Well, hope this distraction about Progressive's Home Court Explorer was helpful. It sure helped me from stressing about my team for a bit. Anyway, go sports!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
If you've ever ordered food for work, you understand. It's different. There's just so much more at stake. Whether it's a meeting, a client call, or lunch with the office that has to arrive at the actual lunchtime, food for work has to work. That's why there's EasyCater. Food that's on time and as ordered from over 82,000 restaurants. And if there's a problem, rare, you can reach someone in seconds.
Thank you for calling EasyCater.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but EasyCater just does. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
At Armor Metals and Recycling, we pay top dollar for aluminum, copper, brass, wire, catalytic converters, batteries, and more. Whether it's left at a job site or left at the curb, if it's metal, we'll accept it. Armor's mobile service comes to you if you have over 500 pounds of non-ferrous metal. Armor can handle your e-cycling needs too, like computers, cell phones, and more. We take it all. Located at 8300 National Highway behind Pennsauken High School and at ArmorMetalsRecycling.com. Armor Metals, your trusted recycling partner.
Hey, it's Mike Missinelli here for Landis Block and Concrete. There is nothing like having a beautiful backyard. Think of how many things you can do with it. You can sit outside on a nice little patio, have a nice glass of wine, have a few friends over to cook on your Landis Block outdoor kitchen. Turn your backyard into a personal paradise with Landis Block. They're the resource center for all outdoor living. All you need is imagination, space, and a budget. Check out the photo gallery at LandisBC.com. That's LandisBC.com for Landis Block, jaw-dropping, outdoor paradises.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
You may not officially be one of my endless cousins, but I do consider you part of our family.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
8 o'clock hour, the John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. John Tortorella coming your way at 8:30. Kenny Smith, you'll hear from him in the 9 o'clock hour. So make sure you stay all day long with us. If you are heading down to the shore for the week, like Jamie Lynch has gone to the beach, is Jamie listening or not, do you believe? On the app, on the 97.5 The Fanatic app.
No chance.
I hope not.
Absolutely not.
I hope he's not. He's
I'm
not
barely
doing
listening.
that. Well, I know that. That's your thing, though. It's your brand. You want to stay on brand.
No, I think the only guy that listens when he's gone is Bob.
Bob listens when he's gone. You think Bob's listening this morning?
Yeah, well, that's because Bob is always going out for meals with his friends. Like every single time Bob comes back into the studio, he's like, oh, yesterday I had lunch with the boys, or I was out at happy hour. So he's always in the car going somewhere.
They're always going doing something. Bob's
Yeah.
a social being. Bob's a networker. Devon.
Everybody wants to hang out with
He
Bob.
is. And, he did that for a long time, too. So
Oh, yeah?
it never leaves him.
He's a networker.
Yeah, he is
He's
a
always got his ear to the ground. Martin Law is the law firm for injured workers. Visit paworkinjury.com. I got to tell you, we're going to find out more about the NBA draft, which is 3 days away. And Devon's got a few ideas of players they could draft, players they could draft and flip, players they might be shopping for. We'll find out about that coming up in just a few moments. But there is one thing that I am just drives me a little bit crazy, and it is a topic that I believe gets a little too much chatter, and maybe it's me who's out of touch. My daughter yesterday got me a really nice thing for the Kincade, my downstairs area, of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's like a wood sign, established 1933 or whatever it is. Eagle sign, really, really cool for Father's Day. It looks great, and my wife hung it up for us. But it's the obsession with returning to Kelly Green. And I'm going to say this. It never fails that the person who seems to be clamoring for the Eagles to return to Kelly Green, not all the time, but it seems like most of the time, and I did a little social media experiment on it the other day because someone suggested that the Eagles changing of the script, is that the right word, Connor? The Eagles script?
Yeah, the font, the logo.
Whatever it
you
is.
can use whatever. Yes.
Whatever it is, script, logo, whatever. That was a precursor to them changing back to Kelly Green last year. And I just reviewed all the people that were like the most vehement people saying they got to go back to Kelly Green, got to go back to Kelly Green. And the vast majority of them never followed the Eagles when they wore Kelly Green. To me, it would be like me lecturing a Gulf War veteran on combat strategy decisions from the comfort of my couch, having never done it. Like, you guys over there, in the Gulf War, you guys could have really been much more effective if you'd done this and that. Really? Well, you tell me about it. I'm shocked that the biggest advocates for the Kelly Green return would have been too young to even remember Kelly Green.
But it doesn't mean that they cannot like it since they've seen it.
They can like it.
And not like the midnight green and decide, you know what, that looks better, even though I wasn't there for it. I like it. Can we do that now?
It's 20. I'm trying to think. Is it 28 years? I think 95 was the first year of the midnight green.
I believe 95, 96.
95 or 96.
Okay.
Right, okay, 95.
Okay.
So Ray Rhodes, probably Ray Rhodes' administration.
Yeah.
That it was the first time. So we're talking about, what now, 27 years, 27 seasons, whatever it is. It seems like the greatest passion, though. I'm looking and I'm like, okay, this guy wasn't old enough to remember Kelly Green. This person is, and they're arguing with people that are like, going, you don't understand. Kelly Green, to me, is a little bit of PTSD, not mocking PTSD.
Because of the losing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a loser color to me. It reminds me of the Eagles being relatively irrelevant. Not being the Eagles have been a force in the NFL. The Eagles have been relevant, front page news in the NFL league-wide, really almost since the move to Kelly Green.
If they did make
away from Kelly Green.
If they made a regular move back where it was the primary and they won the Super Bowl, would you care that it was in the Kelly Green? You wouldn't, right?
No, it's just that I don't understand. Like, to me, I think of Kelly Green. I think of underachieving Eagles.
Yeah. But if they win in it, then no one would care.
Yeah, but I don't want to I'm fine with the way it is.
Yeah, but if you look at what the current regime is, especially under Jeffrey Lurie, they have had more success than not. only one Super Bowl, but more success than not.
Vast more success in this green.
Right. So they're looking at that more versus what they're wearing. They just want that extra piece to go with it. Hey, let's look cooler now while we're winning. I have more faith that we're going to win this season than maybe during that time. And right now, I'm okay with the change of it. Now, look.
Let's change the Cowboys blue. Let's change the Chiefs red.
It.
Let's change the Bears blue.
Go for it.
The Bears blue. I don't understand this obsession. Like, there's no other fan bases are going, let's change back to, like, something from when they weren't.
It's like the go-to talking point around this time every single year.
The Kelly Green.
Every year.
And I could not care
Yeah,
less.
like, I don't like Kelly Green.
I like it, but it doesn't die. I won't bring that up in a conversation.
Yeah, I'm
don't, cool.
Do you
I'm
think
on
people
record. I don't
are
like
really
it.
clamoring for it?
Yeah, they are.
No, but I mean, you really do believe?
Yeah, I really do.
I think it's a
Clamoring
nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, it's that whole color scheme screams 1990s.
But when you think nostalgia, don't people usually, when they talk about nostalgia, Pat, Connor, don't they usually mean success? You're waxing poetic of the good old days. Kelly Green was not the good old days.
Yeah, but the good old days are rarely always like the good old days, but you just remember them more fondly because of the time you separate from it. As the years go by, you remember less about it, and it's easier to be nostalgic. So I feel like some people could have
softened in that. You mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the coach that kind of embodied the city the most was Buddy. He hated the Cowboys as much as we hated the Cowboys.
And he did nothing.
And I don't disagree with you, and that's just a fact. But looking back on it, a lot of fans have this fond memory of the Buddy Ryan era with the number one defense. And you're right. They didn't do anything.
They didn't win a playoff game.
I will not. I don't like the color scheme, but at the end of the day, I don't think if they would have kept Kelly Green, they wouldn't have won. Under Andy Reid, they would have absolutely.
No.
They would have absolutely had that. Well, I just want to clarify because someone's out there being like, "Oh yeah, the color changed."
No, I'm just saying but I think Jeffrey Lurie bought the team and wanted to put his mark on it.
I mean, I think
sell merchandise and rebrand it.
Jeffrey wants to go back to Kelly Green for a game or two, but make no mistake about it, he wants to go back for a game or two because it's a lot more money. Mm-hmm. They know that if they get the okay from the NFL,
they've heard it enough
to go
now
back
over
from
the
Kelly
years.
They know they are going to be swimming in cash like Scrooge McDuck.
Now the thing is, though, do you believe he wants to go back just for the alternate? That'll be their alternate jersey? Because people are also obsessed with this black.
I love the black.
You love the black.
But see, think about this too, John, and Pat and Connor and Eric. We talk about the Sixers. How many times did we hear go back to the 2000 uniforms with the Iverson era? Now, they went back to black. It was different, and not a lot of people loved it. But that was because certain people in the organization did not want it to – they wanted to get away from it. We'll do the black, but we don't want to do the exact same thing.
Because they wanted to change.
Because they wanted to get away from it. But, all right, we'll do the black, and we feel like we can still sell it. It's just not going to be the same script. It's not going to be the same font. Where I think you would have done better if you went back to that version of that uniform of the Iverson era. But again, people just and then look how things are done differently now with the technology, the creativity of how uniforms are made, and the different ways that they are put together. Maybe the Kelly Green might pop a little bit differently. Maybe they'll put the Eagles font in the middle of the jersey like they do with a lot of jerseys now, even though it's now back to the Kelly Green. They'll do something, they'll freak it a little bit differently where, it's still green, but we still have the touch of now on it.
It is interesting you bring up the Sixers jerseys because for years people have been clamoring for those AIs to come back.
Right.
And we thought we were getting it with Ben Simmons, and he comes up with the worst jersey I think I've ever seen, right? And it was that should have been the key right there. It wasn't going to work out with him. But this year's jersey scheme with the City Edition, with the Spectrum, font and everything, it hit so well because of the nostalgia. If they never had that color scheme back in the 80s and it's not the Spectrum, blah, 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 I don't think that sells that well. But as soon as they came out with that, everybody was like, yo, I need a shirt, I need a jersey, I need shorts, I need something. And they're going to go to something else next year, and it's not going to probably do as well because it's probably not going to have the nostalgia factor.
You think Ben Simmons ever walked Boathouse Row? The entire area down there?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably once.
He lived in Center City, right? For a little bit before he moved out. So yeah.
Do you think he went out and just walked around Boathouse Row?
You mean
By the way,
just Boathouse Row?
Just the whole the curb behind it. You're walking along behind it there, and the thing. I don't believe
him and Kendall.
I don't believe he did.
Yeah, probably did.
Yeah. I don't believe he.
What time of day would he do this? I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
when
sure
was
he's
he
a
doing
regatta
this?
guy.
Oh, yeah, he's probably a big regatta.
He's a big regatta
He's
guy.
down there for
He's
Dadville.
Australian, so he's
There
a
you go.
boatsman.
Yeah, he probably is. Hey, if you got problems with your building's water and wastewater pump system, I want you to visit pumpmanphilly.com. Pumpman Philly. The guys to know to fix your flow. Good job, Connor.
Strong.
That was strong. A pump. John Tortorella coming your way at the bottom of the hour. NBA draft 3 days away. And Devon has a few ideas. And Devon, this was Devon got assigned like weekend homework.
I did.
Which is like really odd. You know, like Devon's like, I don't want to do damn homework. What's going on here? But we're counting on you to give us some insights. And then we'll lean on Bob later this week, too, on this.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I'm actually, I'm on 7 to 10 Thursday night during the draft. So that'll be fun.
Will they have the pick before you go off? Probably not 23rd.
I think they will, yeah, because the draft normally wraps up around 11:30, somewhere around there.
You might get it.
I might get it. I might not. And they have to have it in order to make the pick. They have to make the pick, and then they can trade it later on, but they'll make the pick, and we'll have some information. But it's going to be a big night just because of the other stuff. Danny Green and the pick. Tobias Harris and the pick. Tobias Harris by himself with someone else, maybe Shake Milton, Furkan Korkmaz. It's going to be a really interesting and an important off-season. It's going to kick off a really important off-season. So when we talk about the draft, John, where do you want to start? You want to start with some players from the draft, or do you want to start with some players that could be swapped for that pick?
How about players that could be swapped?
All right,
for that pick.
I'll start with
because am I wrong to assume that maybe that's first of all, it's what I want. It's the most desired,
and I think that's the majority for people where you want to start there, which is move the 23rd pick with maybe some other players and acquire someone else. So when you look at, I'd say a familiar name with Gary Harris. A lot of people wanted Gary Harris from the Orlando Magic, get him away from that situation. He's a veteran defender. You know where it is, where everything is with him. You know he's a veteran, 6'4", 6'5", can come in and defend, but he can also knock down the outside shot. Someone you can count on. He can put the ball on the floor, a little bit of creativity there. Not body type 6'6", 6'7", that you might want. I prefer in that wing, that length. But if Tobias Harris does say, let's say for an example, Harris stays and Gary Harris is the one that you can maybe find some way to maneuver him as a free agent, bring him in, 11 points last season, but you know he can knock down the shot at a high clip, high 30s, low 40s, three-pointer. Defensively, he and Matisse Thybulle, unless Matisse Thybulle is gone, he is someone that you can put on the wing, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those players, Chris Middleton in the Eastern Conference that you have to defend going down the stretch. That's one of the players that I look at. Now, he has to be a sign and trade because he's a free agent, but that's a player that I identify, like many, that could something that could potentially happen starting now, but it cannot be done, of course, until they start things with free agency on June 30th.
If I was to put a meter on you from 1 to 10, 10 being the most likely that it's going to happen, that Tobias Harris gets moved? Are we talking 5? Are we talking a coin flip?
I'm talking 5, 6.
Okay, so it's a coin
I don't think
flip.
it's very high. Not now. I don't think he's going anywhere right now. I get the sense that they kind of want to run it back with at least the 4 of Harris, Maxey, Harden, and Embiid. I'm up in the air on the Thybulle part of it. I'm not quite sure as of right now.
Connor, just put your tissues away.
I think he stays.
Put your tissues away.
Do you think?
Maybe.
Do you think that if James Harden weren't to take a team-friendly deal, like we're being reported at least, do you think then the number to trade Tobias Harris goes up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But because of the team-friendly deal, are they able to maneuver some other things to fit things a little bit better underneath with the cap now? If James Harden's going to help y'all, let's say he goes 3 years, 150. Right?
Oh, that's terrible.
Which is weird, right?
It's terrible.
It is, but it's not impossible. But he still opens things up for you to do other things. But I do think Tobias Harris at least is going to be here right now. And he is a big topic, Pat, of discussion. I know I'm going to get into him later in the week just because it is that important of what is he, who is he, They don't call plays for him, so can he be better? Did he show you something in the second half, that month and a half before the playoffs, and then in the playoffs where I thought he was the most consistent player of everybody out there? Did he show you something? Did he show them, most importantly, something where we have to do something to get him going, get him more involved as we come back? So that's going to be an interesting one for me.
I'm fascinated. If there's anybody is there anybody right now you would say, if they could grab them at 23, I want them to keep them?
No, not really.
There's nobody.
No, they're guys you like, but you're in a different place now.
Yeah.
You're in a place of winning. And if we know anything of Doc Rivers, not named Tyrese Maxey, and by the way, we needed year number 2, and Ben Simmons decided I'm going to sit out all season, I'm quitting on my team. Who knows what we would have seen from Tyrese Maxey? He's not thrilled to play young players. He's not thrilled with that. So what young player is really going to come in? Now, I can identify some that may be juniors that can do something. E.J. Liddell from Ohio State, 6'7", has a big body, and he can do some things. But does that mean that Doc Rivers is going to play him on this playoff team? I don't know that. I don't have an answer for that, especially when you needed a big man to play some minutes after you move Andre Drummond and you go with DeAndre Jordan because you've had more faith in him, because you know him, you knew who he was, over Paul Reed and both Charles Bassey. I don't know that they would have worked, but you also didn't play them during the regular season during a good stretch to find out if they have that in them to maybe give you minutes during the postseason.
Do you buy into, and we've talked about this a lot, the logic that guys like Bassey and Reed had trouble fitting in with the Sixers because of the fact they were shuffled back and forth so much from Philly to the G League? That they really couldn't get a sense of the plays, the rotation, like anything, because they could never get comfortable.
Well, but they do a lot of similar things with the G League that they do here. So that's not really it. I just think Doc Rivers. One thing with Paul Reed is, and I will agree with Doc on this because I know this to be true, is that the picking up of everything that he needs with the play calls and all of that. He's still getting there. He's not all the way there. And that's something that he has to get through, fight through, and he earned some trust from Doc Rivers, maybe not as much as we would have liked from afar. Charles Bassey, I don't know what that was. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not asking him to come in there and be Rashawn Holmes right now, but I'm asking him to give you a couple of minutes and just say, hey, this is a young player, shot blocking ability, can run the floor, can do that. Everybody's going to pick up a foul or two. Trust him a little bit more. And he did not do that. So that's where, if you say, John, that 23rd pick, is there someone there that you absolutely want to stick? Not really.
And you're saying that's because of where the Sixers are.
Where the Sixers are and what I believe Doc Rivers to believe of young players at this time.
I got to tell you, I'm a little now I'm more anxious after hearing you speak. I'm more anxious about what's going to go down later this week.
I am so curious. I have no idea.
Because I have no idea where
it's going. And look how quiet it has been. Pat, you talked about the rebuild. When we talked about Summer League, the draft, obviously we're talking top 5 picks, 2 in the first round in the lottery and things of that nature.
We got Okafor. Let's go.
Exactly. But we were all excited about that. And then now it's like it's gone.
No, the draft completely snuck up on it.
It's gone. We're here. We don't hear about individual workouts. We don't hear about them coming to Camden and working out. We don't hear anything. We don't know what's going on. And, of course, they've been working people out.
But I'm sort of feeling like a little, like this is letting me down a little bit. Like I'm feeling a little.
Why you think Brooklyn decided to defer? They're like, all right, cool. Well, next year might be better. And
I think they think the Sixers are going to be bad.
I don't.
Or going to be worse.
And I don't.
In the Eastern Conference.
And I don't. I think they're going to still be that 50-win, 51, 52-win team fighting for a top 4 seed. Brooklyn read that one wrong because I do think the Sixers are going to be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's music to my ears.
I love hearing Devon say that.
Yeah, I mean, for people out there, I'll go to Devon for.
Why are they going to be bad?
For basketball opinions. I guess they're banking on the James Harden, being James Harden, kind of that you saw in the playoffs, the absentee.
Yeah, but
he was absentee.
But during the regular season, not. He was still an All-Star, rightfully so. He earned that, and he plays well during the regular season. And he's going to have a full training camp and a full preseason and a full off-season to get things together with what they do and where he can see himself fitting in much, much better. So I don't know why Brooklyn believes that they're going to take a step back. I don't see that.
What do you think the percentage is that they keep that pick?
Well,
I'm talking like draft the player and actually keep him.
Yeah, I think it's more likely, Pat, that they move that pick.
But put a percentage on it.
That they move it?
I agree with you, but I think...
Yeah, I'm well over 60% that they're going to move that pick. I believe they're really going to move that pick. And you still have the Sixers as title odds, by the way, right? So they're one of these teams that are one of the teams that you believe can win the title, or at least in the conversation for the title. It's about now, again, working around the edges and finding the right things that are necessary for them to win and no longer be a second-round exit.
I guess I shouldn't
I'm tired of that.
I shouldn't be disappointed by it. I just am. I think all of the. I'm somebody who loves knowing sort of what's going to happen. Like I can see it.
It has been very
like
quiet,
going into the Eagles draft, we knew what was going to happen.
Had a very good idea.
Addressing where they were going to address.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what's going to go on.
Well, I think they'll address the wing position and they'll address the bench depth. How, though? How? With that 23 and Danny Green's money going elsewhere with that $10 million? Possibly. Or is it going to be that big third star that everybody talks about? I doubt it, because I still don't think they need that. I think they need to more worry about the edges with everything else with this basketball team. You have one young player in Maxey. You have 3 veterans that we know about. What else are you going to do to improve this basketball team? There are a lot of questions with them, and we need some answers. And John, you're right. Normally we have a good sense of what those answers are going to be. We have no idea. But that's what makes it so intriguing about
it is intriguing.
Thursday night. We have no idea.
Or what are the odds Thursday morning that we're hearing we're seeing smoke signals?
I think we'll
of something
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
Right?
So we're going to see some smoke signals of here may be a veteran guy who be coming to Philly who could be. By the way, I've become a huge Malika Andrews fan. Are you?
Yeah, so I was a big Malika Andrews fan back in her Chicago days, her New York days.
Okay, I was not very familiar with her work.
Yeah, she's really good.
I love that. I love her show.
Yeah, she's really good.
I think she is. I find myself watching that show more and more, and it's because of Egan's guy Perk too.
Love I'm out.
Kendrick Perkins has grown on.
Not me.
He's grown.
I was
on
in on Kendrick Perkins early, and then I went the other way.
See, Richard Jefferson's the one I
like Richard Jefferson. Sometimes I think he tries to be too funny.
The sweatshirt, the hoodie with the sport coat over it.
I like it.
Oh, I hate that look.
Yeah, I like
he does it every day.
But I don't have fashion sense. So
yeah, I like it. Yeah, I would do that.
You do the hoodie with the sport coat over it?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's a good look.
Yeah, it's a really good
long sleeve tee.
If Connor says it, it's not a good look.
That's false. I got great fashion sense.
Hey, John Tortorella joins us next. You'll hear from the Flyers coach, John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. You know, June is Men's Month. Father's Day just passed yesterday, and CoPair Health has been helping me in a big way to address something I was trying to do. After a physical, my doctor said, why don't you lose 23 pounds? Then I did an underwater fat test to find out my real fat percentage, and he said, why don't you lose 28? Well, 9 weeks in, I'm proud to announce I've gotten to 20 pounds. The last 3 weeks, I've only lost 3.5 pounds. But I continue to progress on CoPair. CoPair Health. Vance is my personal coach. CoPairHealth.com. CoPare Health.com. You can give them a call, too, right? If you want to find yourself starting to take this journey with me. 215-948-4648. I got to tell you, I hope that the weight loss accelerates again. But I know that with CoPair, it's been helping me to continually move the ball forward. Call them at 215-948-4648. You tell them you're a Fanatic listener, and you will get the first week free. They can help you out. 9 weeks, 20 pounds. It is changing how I feel, and I got 8 pounds to go to get to the goal my doctor set for me, and I'm feeling great about that. But I might even want to go further. And CoPair Health will be with me to coach me even after the fact. So go to CoPair Health. Make sure you tell them you're a Fanatic listener. CoPareHealth.com.
The John Kincade Show.
Talking sense into people isn't really my thing. In fact, I'm better at the opposite.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
A look ahead to this week in Philly sports, brought to you by Comcast Business.
The Phillies are on the road this week as they try to climb closer to a wild card spot. They play the Rangers Tuesday and Wednesday, then travel to San Diego to take on the Padres Thursday through Sunday.
Comcast Business. Every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business keep you ready for what's next. Learn more at ComcastBusiness.com.
You deserve more internet than what you get from just your cell phone.
Get Xfinity high-speed internet at home free through the Affordable Connectivity Program. That's right. Eligible customers can get Internet Essentials Plus, a $29.95 a month value, free when they enroll in the Affordable Connectivity Program. Get free high-speed internet with unlimited data and a wireless gateway included at no extra cost. No fees, no taxes, and no annual contract. Act now to get this incredible deal for more streaming, more gaming, and more chatting on more devices at home. Your cell phone can't do that. Get Xfinity high-speed internet at home through the Affordable Connectivity Program and connect to more of what you love for free. To see if you qualify, go to Xfinity.com/free, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. After program participation ends, Comcast standard charges, taxes, and fees apply. May not be combined with other offers.
June is National Men's Health Month. 97.5 The Fanatic and Iron Mountain Men's Health are committed to your well-being. Did you know sleep apnea occurs in about 25% of men compared to 10% of women? Having obstructive sleep apnea increases your risk of high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks. To help prevent sleep apnea, maintain a healthy weight, moderate alcohol consumption, and refrain from smoking. Stay tuned for more tips on how to live a long and healthy life, presented by Iron Mountain Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Avidan Appel. Would it surprise you to hear that for every hour of quality sleep lost, your testosterone level decreases by a significant amount? If you're waking up in the morning feeling unrefreshed, fatigued, or tired, your testosterone levels need to be checked and could be low due to sleep apnea. Visit us online today at ironmountainmenshealth.com to schedule your free consultation with me, Dr. Avidan Appel, founder of Iron Mountain Men's Health. Iron Mountain Men's Health, the leader in men's health.
At Progressive, we know there's nothing like the feeling of riding a motorcycle with your crew on the open road. That symphony of engines roaring in perfect harmony. It's a feeling that would be impossible to recreate on the radio. Until now. Hit it, Jerry. Oh, my word. Really, really terrible. Is that a glockenspiel, Jerry? Quote with Progressive and see if you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. No, Jerry. It's over.
Hello. Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cash Back Match. Now to recap and say cash back one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
For the first time in 25 years, the Doobie Brothers, Tom Johnston, Michael McDonald, Pat Simmons, and John McPhee, 50th Anniversary Tour. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, the Doobie Brothers. This Thursday at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
You're on your way to work, and then, bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The John Kincade Show.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Hope your Monday is off to a fantastic start. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. The Summertime Monday. This is the official summertime. And a lot of people are thinking about heading down to the shore, getting on vacation. And unfortunately for us, hockey rinks are sort of a thing of the past in warm weather. And Pat, you love going to the Playoff hockey.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What do you mean you're looking at me like what?
Well, because I had a game Friday.
Oh, you had a game in your pickup rink.
Hey, there was one fan watching.
Who was
There was a scout from the Kelowna Rockets.
It really was? I didn't realize that.
No, it was somebody's wife.
Okay. Well, we're excited to see playoff hockey become relevant again in this town at some point and have logical expectations and fun. And we're proud, and we want to welcome in the new coach of the Philadelphia Flyers, John Tortorella, who joins us on the Comcast Business Hotline this morning. Coach, we appreciate you making time for us this morning, and welcome to Philadelphia, though you seem to know this town pretty well from your travels in the NHL.
Yeah, we've been through there a few times, and great city, great sports town. Looking forward to get to work there and try to get things worked out with the hockey club.
And I wanted to get a couple things right off the bat with you, Coach, is that there were so many high-profile names that are out there this year. I don't think there's ever been a year where more guys with fantastic resumes like yours were available to be hired by franchises. What do you feel about your past and your resume that made the Flyers say, John Tortorella's our guy?
Well, I don't know. I think that's probably a question for Chuck. I just went in there and I was honest with them as far as how I go about my business. They asked me how I do my teaching. They asked me about my philosophy regarding, especially with today's athletes. It's a different athlete than back in the day. And we had, it was an extensive process with Chuck and some really good people, really good friends of mine. A lot of those coaches are friends of mine. And we just had an understanding. And, the number one thing for me is I'm going to be upfront with the players. We're going to look to be a team that's going to be hard to play against. I think Philly has lost that a little bit. And I'm not going to get into a whole list of topics how we're going to do it, but we're going to get back at it here and try to push them in the right direction.
You feel you were a different coach in Columbus than you were in Tampa? And do you think when you say that the athletes today are changing, it's a different athlete, can you take us behind the curtain a little bit on that?
Yeah, it's an athlete where, they want to be part of the decision making. They want to be able to communicate more with the coach, with the general manager. It's a younger athlete in our game, and so. Yeah, you guys have followed sports in any sport. I think it's athletes go in cycles of who they are, how you have to treat them. I think it's important as a coach. It's our job. We need to adapt a little bit to them, and and I say that very carefully because you still have to hold your principles. You still have to hold your concept about how you go about it as a coach, but you also have to respect the athlete. And let them feel part of it. And I think that's where it's at today. I really do. And some of it I agree with, some of it I don't. And we'll have discussions along the way as we get into those experiences when I'm coaching them.
John, you've had some really good goaltenders in your coaching career. You had Javi Bulin in Tampa Bay. You had Henrik Lundqvist in New York. You had Sergei Bobrovsky in Columbus. What do you think Carter Hart needs to do to reach their level?
Well, I think it's what we need to do to help Carter right now, and that's not getting him off the hook by any means. Again, I haven't watched him play a whole bunch. I've read on him. I have certainly dug in for some more information on him as I was named the coach. Him and I crossed some calls yesterday in text, and I'd like to sit down and talk with him. But he's a 23-year-old kid, really in a city that the goaltending has been a topic quite a bit over the years in Philly. I think there's a certain amount of different pressure on that goaltending position in Philly, and I think we need to help them. I think as far as our coverages, at least our concentration playing away from the puck needs to be better to allow him to get his feet wet in the league, and then we'll see what he is. And certainly not taking any onus off of him as far as what he needs to be. He comes highly touted. I hear he's a terrific kid. I'm anxious to sit face-to-face with him, talk with him, and see what he's about.
New Flyers coach John Tortorella joining us on the John Kincade Show here on The Fanatic. Coach, I loved the answer you gave the other day, and you were talking, with the media via Zoom. And you said, I'm not afraid of what people are saying about this team. I get what's out there. Some of the predictions, some of the thoughts. What's the process with us? It just fuels me. So what specifically are you hearing about what people think about where the Flyers are right now, and what do you think you can do to be able to help address those? Because there's really are low expectations. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and you can't help. I mean, I don't go searching and reading all this stuff, but you can't help but hear it when I was going through the process of what people are thinking about the organization. And this is an organization that I said, and I'm very honest about it, that I have truly respected over the years as I've gone in there and played with different teams and how they've gone about the business. I get it, and I'm honest about it. I'm not going to hide from it. It's been a little lost. I think it needs some direction. I think that's why Chuck is in this process. And that's certainly not a criticism on Michael Yeo, Elaine, and the coaches that have gone through there. Everybody has to give some here as far as where the organization is right now and how it's perceived. So guys, I don't want to get caught up in all the noise around us. I think that's a really important note for us as we start camp when we get going here, is block out the noise and let's make a difference. Let's try to turn the noise around in the proper direction by how we go about our business.
I think that should be your T-shirt, Coach. Your training camp T-shirt. Block out the noise.
Well, I got a few of them already in my mind as far as camp guys.
There you go.
John, the message that the fan base has gotten from Chuck and ownership has kind of been excuse making a little bit. We're 1 or 2 players away. We've dealt with injuries. When you look at this roster, though, do you think the team is actually 1 or 2 players away, or is this more of a rebuild?
Yeah, like I said the other day, rebuild. There's a lot of new language, I guess. I know I'm a little old school, and I like the old language, but the retool, the rebuild, or whatever you talk about, I'm not going to get involved in it. You know what, guys? Like I told Chuck, I said I don't want you to give me a bunch of information about the players. It's important that I see it when I start camp with them. They're going to go through a number of different mental exercises, physical exercises that's going to test them and see what they are. And I need to make my own, give my own thoughts in my head as far as what these guys are about. But listen, I think Chuck, I believe Chuck has been pretty honest about there's some work to do here. There's some work to do with the talent level of the club. But more importantly, the thing that I control is the attitude of the club, the effort of the club. The hardness of the club. I think Chuck is going to try to find a way. It doesn't happen overnight. I'm not going to say that. But my part of it, we're going to attack it right away as far as how we present ourselves. And, I'm going to test people. And they're going to be tested when they don't even know they're being tested. I'm going to watch people when they don't even know they're being watched. And then we got to figure out what are the best guys to come on the bus with us. And there's going to be some situations where maybe we have to look by some guys and try someone else. And that's my situation. And I'll allow Chuck to get about his situation as far as bringing in or trading or free agency as we get to it.
And John, as you examine the entire thing, going through the entire process, and as you just mentioned, laying everything out, what Chuck Fletcher has to do and blocking out noise, etc., what was it, though, that made this job so intriguing for you to make the decision that this was the one for you at this time?
Yeah, for me, and I said it the other day, and I'm not trying to be corny here, but it's Philadelphia. And I've gone in there with teams. We had a war back in 2004, and I know it's a while back, and I know the game's changed with all the new rules. But going in there, the rinks there, the football stadiums there, they're right on top of one another. That road that houses those teams, the baseball team across the street. It's just such a great sports town. And listen, there are going to be people pissed off at me for a number of weeks during the season. There are going to be people that may be happy with me during a number of weeks of the season. Bring it on. That's what I love about that area. They're not afraid to voice their opinion. They're great sports fans. It's a great sports town. And at my stage of my career, I want to whack at that. I want to be involved in that pressure and that type of accountability that city brings to people.
You like sports talk radio, Coach, or not?
No, I don't.
Be honest with me. Now, listen, though.
He said no.
I'm just going to say it to you, though, is that I've heard a lot of coaches say that to me over the years. And then I'll cross paths with them, and they can recite chapter and verse stuff that's being said about the team or them on sports talk radio. So are you a guy who truly tunes it out? Because we'd love to have you, visit with us and stuff. Which is
no, and I'll
okay.
Absolutely. I'm in. I say that kind of tongue in cheek. I'm not going to be hanging around with you guys a whole bunch, but I get it, and that's part of it. That's part of my responsibility. And quite honestly, guys, it's a way for me to try to give you a little bit of information as far as what's going on. But a lot of people, the pundits and everything around, and it's part of the game. They make some quick judgments on people, and maybe some false judgments. I can give you some of that information without crossing the line about, the information in our locker room. I think that's important that I do that. And especially in this situation in Philly where there's a lot of things being said, and hopefully we're going to try to fix this along the way, and I'll help you along the way. But, listen, I'm not a guy that turns on the radio when I get up in the morning and drive to the rink. I'm not listening to a sports talk show. But I want a relationship with you.
Good.
Because it helps the team, too. So we can have a conversation. So maybe you'll get the right information from me on a certain subject versus what they're saying out there.
That's a great answer. That is a great answer, and you will always be welcome with us. And we look forward to catching up with you and getting to meet in person. Training camp will be here before you know it. Enjoy your summer and get amped up. We're looking forward to Flyers hockey in the fall, Coach.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great day.
There you go. Coach John Tortorella joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Our friends at Comcast.
Well, he'll fit right in.
I like it.
That was fun.
He will fit right in with this. That no-nonsense attitude.
No, and
the honesty.
I've always heard is a buddy over the years in sports talk radio, Steve Dumig, who has since passed, Philly guy down in Tampa. He was the big dog. And the big dog was the biggest. That was his on-air Steve Dumig.
We had a big dog here.
Who was that?
Yeah, we'll talk
I didn't
about
know
it.
that. Well, Steve Dumig was the big dog, and he would tell me about John Tortorella. And he'd say he could literally want to tear your head off, but he'd give you the best, he said, the best information you'd ever get from a coach, which intrigues the hell out of me. Because I don't mind a coach going, Kincade, that opinion is so stupid. Or that is totally misinformed about my team. You're wrong. And he would get into like little shouting matches back in Tampa, but he would give them information. And I love that.
If you want an entertaining YouTube rabbit hole, just go look up John Tortorella interviews, because his interactions with the media are they're very enjoyable if you're not one of the people that is getting yelled at.
Yeah, I'm always of the belief nobody cares who likes us and who doesn't. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think many, many times when a coach is giving it to the media, I think people like it even more.
Oh, I totally agree.
Sure.
And I think that's great. I think it'll be great interaction.
I appreciate his honesty. It seemed real, and from afar you see it, but now that you have a chance to talk to him, it's going to be here. And him saying "bring it on" and all of that, I love that. I love to hear that.
He challenged a reporter up in Newark. He asked him if you ever been into a fight. Have you ever gotten into a fight? And you could tell he was kind of challenging him a little bit. I could absolutely see him doing that with John.
Getting into a fight?
Just staying there. John, you ever been in a fight?
Mm-hmm. You in a fight?
I could absolutely see him just giving you that towards death stare.
He is, I said before, had to do the, back on TV in my TV days doing hockey, I would do the walk-off interview with the head coach of the Thrashers at the time, first period. Walk-off interview with the coach of the opposing team at the end of the second period. And I asked John Tortorella, walking off on the ramp, I said, Coach, Thrashers got a couple goals there to tie it up at the end of the second. Your team's been blowing a lot of leads lately. Do you have any theories about or what's going to go on with that and how you're going to change in the third? He goes, you got any ideas? Maybe you should coach.
I love that.
Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, Good luck.
That's better
Or something
than
he literally.
Yeah, but that's more memorable than every
Yes,
coach that gave you the
absolutely.
answer of, well, you want to get pucks down low and keep pressuring and get shots on net. That's what we need to do.
By the way,
it's just every answer is so cookie cutter from these coaches that you get a guy like that and you go, he doesn't want to be doing this interview, and and he's just pissed off.
They don't want to.
And some of them do though. Like Bob Hartley was a coach down there, and we had Bob Hartley. He loved doing the interviews. He let me do an interview on the bench during first and third period.
And they were
during a TV timeout.
That was a damn good team.
And he would
they?
say, that's a Stanley Cup winning coach.
Yeah,
that is a guy who knows what he's doing. He enjoyed because he felt that brought the fans in. That brought the fan interaction in.
Well, now Tortorella is saying he just does it a little bit differently.
Right, exactly.
He wants the relationship. He's not going to listen.
Correct.
But he wants to make sure that you get the right information versus the other stuff, as he calls it, that's out there. And then we're talking about a totally different thing.
And coach should absolutely correct. Coaches should always correct misinformation if they're hearing it.
Yeah, they should.
They should always feel like communicate to the fans and go. And if a host is doing half their job, they should be open to having it, to facing something like that. So
at the very least, if they don't win, it'll be entertaining.
It will be. Crystal clear lakes, trout-filled streams, wide sandy beaches. Maine's got them. It's summer and the water's calling. Visit Maine.com. This message is sponsored by the Maine Office of Tourism. Devon, Draymond Green,
love it.
Sort of spiking the football a little bit.
Oh, I love it.
Is that a fair term? Sort of terminology?
Yes, because people were spiking the football on them when they were down after the injuries, and we talked about and the fact that they were no longer the Golden State Warriors, and then you had the young teams like the Grizzlies that we see right now with Ja Morant and everybody coming at them. And now that they've won again, he told them they were going to win again. They felt they had a chance to do so again. And for where they had to come from with the injuries, Klay Thompson being the worst team 2 years ago in the NBA with a very high lottery pick. They picked second overall into selecting James Wiseman, and they're back. And they came back and they won this title again. And Steph Curry now talked about, he was already talked about when you do it again, though, the all-time greats. I love what Draymond Green is doing right now, not only with his tweets, but also on the podcast. I did question a little bit if after they lost, I think it was game 3, if he should jump right on in Boston in this hotel room and do the podcast. But that's who he is. He's never wavering from who he is. And he continues to be Draymond Green, and you have Ja Morant talking about, hey, we need to see them, and this time, and he's like, settle down. Jonathan Kuminga says, oh, I'm excited, I won a championship, this is great. Ja Morant comes back and says, you need to earn your stripes, kid. Well, didn't he? Didn't he do a part of something during the season where they trusted Jonathan Kuminga to be a big part of their playoff rotation? You adjust, though. Coaches adjust. You can't play in the second round. This is not the matchup for you. You can't play in the NBA Finals. This is not the matchup for you. Draymond Green is like, hey, guys, you didn't win anything, and you need to earn your stripes. And he's calling everybody out. And, John, I love it.
I enjoy any – first of all, considering like what we do for a living, we call people out constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always – wondering why people don't accept when an athlete calls you out.
I love it.
I find Draymond very entertaining. Very, very entertaining.
Very.
I think it's okay that people were calling out the Warriors when they slipped to being the second worst team in the NBA.
That's okay.
Which was a disgraceful drop and a horrible underachieving. So the thing is, two statements can be true.
Yes.
You can call out the Warriors for allowing, when the injuries happened, to fall into total crap mode, and you can still praise them now, and you can be right on both fronts.
And
that's the only part I take issue with.
He can come back at them. When they do it, he can come. If you're putting it out there to come this way at us, when we do it again, I'm coming right back at you.
Okay.
That's just competitive.
No,
that's
I got
You.
competitiveness.
Talk your bleed.
Exactly.
Because I think that I think it sells the sport.
The fact that he's walking around with a Boston Celtics T-shirt that says Quest for 18 or whatever, and it's got all the banners and a blank one, and he wrote "Nope."
Right.
I love it.
I think it sells the sport.
I can't get enough of it.
And a lot of people look at it negatively. I look at it as the colorful a lot of sports athlete podcasts are bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the quality of like his podcast is very good.
It doesn't have to be because he's being Draymond Green.
Correct.
JJ Redick is different because JJ Redick he's more analytical about certain things, but Draymond Green, when you listen to him, he will break down the game like no other, right?
And it might be one or two nuggets that happen during the course of 10 minutes where I'm lost, where I go, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
That was visceral.
I love what he's doing right now.
We need more. We need more athlete voices, though, that do that, Pat. That get sort of feisty.
This is competition.
Oh, I mean,
and they're competing,
right?
And everybody was coming at them too. And he said, "Know what? All these young teams and all these other teams, all that stuff. No, okay, beat us, and you didn't."
I love the fact that he went back at all the people and he kept receipts. I mean, the one sport that needs it probably the most is hockey. But all those guys have the personality of paper. So I agree, though. Those personalities that you see that are willing to go out there and not be the cookie cutter because they don't want to offend anybody, they don't want to ruffle feathers, make waves, all that crap. Like, it's boring. Baseball doesn't have it really either. Baseball doesn't have that guy. Basketball probably has the most. Mm-hmm. Football has a little bit. But you need that attitude because you as you said, You're working a job where people are inundating you with hate.
No question.
I mean, Draymond Green opens up his Twitter and it's like, "Oh, you're the third guy. Oh, you're not even going to be. You didn't do it." It's a flood of that. So if you win the championship, talk it.
All I say is, though, people had every right to mock them and to call them out for being the second worst team in the NBA. They never should have fallen to those depths.
No,
they literally rolled over. So, I mean, I think that
they made a business decision.
So I think both of them both decisions can be true. But Draymond, have your fun. Have your fun. You earned it.
Say it all.
To the victor goes the spoils.
But I tweet from the bench one time in a softball game, and all of a sudden I'm a bad guy.
He was after the game, though.
And he's walking during it wasn't walking during a underhanded slow pitch softball. A little different.
I'm gonna talk my,
slightly different. But
love it, Draymond.
You're gonna. I tell you this, he makes the sport more popular.
Keep going.
Whether he draws people in to hate him or love him, he makes it more popular.
He doesn't care,
and he don't give one bit. We had him and his mom on the Shaqcast, and it was hilarious.
His mom was ripping him during the playoffs.
His mom literally will call and goes, "His language on there is terrible." Like his mom was all, his language is terrible. Clean it up. She's awesome, man.
And it doesn't stop for him, though. He keeps it going.
Here's what I'll say is pump the brakes on this analysis coming up. Plus, we will hear from Kenny Smith of the NBA on TNT. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. The BetParx app in Pennsylvania or New Jersey, you got to check it out. Special boosts, wagers for the PGA Tour, and more. The all-new BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app offers you a risk-free bet of up to $750. All you have to do is use my promo code Kincade if you're 21 and in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. One of the things I like about it is you can bet lines on games while the live action's going on. The other night, the Phillies gave up a lead. The game's tied. I could then bet the money line for the Phillies to win the game. You can jump on then if you don't want to place a bet before the game starts. It's the only sportsbook and casino app that I recommend. It puts the odds, the bets, all the casino games and everything in one simple, easy-to-use place. And when you get a $750 risk-free bet, it's a great place to start. If you've always wanted to join in the fun, just use the promo code Kincade. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. If you have a gambling problem, please, I implore you to call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show. Wow, getting drunk in the morning on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
It's Hoagie Fest. Today's the day. Follow your taste buds. They'll show you the way. Hoagie Fest is here. Na, 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 na.
Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Summer tastes better when it's full of Hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Limited time only. See store for exclusions.
Back by popular demand, Wawa and Chips Ahoy are teaming up again to bring you frozen handcrafted beverages that'll make your summer adventures epic. Like
going to the beach.
Going to the beach with a delicious and creamy Chips Ahoy milkshake. And
binging season 3 of that show?
Binging season 3 of that show with a tasty Chips Ahoy smoothie. Whatever you're doing this summer, make it epic. Chips Ahoy frozen handcrafted beverages are back, and 20% off when you order and pay on the Wawa app.
Hey guys, it's Andrew. Do you need a new roof, but you're cringing at the thought of dealing with it because you've heard nightmare stories about contractors who won't call back, or materials that are unavailable, or costs that are doubled because of supply chain issues? Take it from me. You have to call New Look Home Design. They will help you through the process and make shopping for a new roof easy. They always do roofing the same way. Same day on-site or virtual estimates, whatever's best for you. Transparent line-by-line pricing, so you know exactly what you'll be paying for, and a 3D rendering of what your new roof would look like, so there's no surprises. And most roofs, they can be installed in a week. Their team is 100% professional. There's no obligation to buy, but I am confident that after you deal with them, you'll want to give them your business. Now through June 30th, when you buy a new roof, you pay half later and the other half never. Save 50% on roofing materials and qualify for interest-free financing. So call them today at 800-279-5300. That's 800-279-5300, or online at newlookhomedesign.com. That's newlookhomedesign.com, and tell them Andrew sent you.
From zero to hero, North American esports org Cloud9 went from dropping out of Counter-Strike to winning a championship in less than a year. In April, Cloud9 re-entered the Counter-Strike space by signing the Gambit roster. And now 2 months later, Cloud9 has already won Intel Extreme Masters Dallas in a dominant 3-0 fashion against the heavily favored Ents. While an impressive showing from the recently bought roster, time will tell if they can keep up the pace.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
This Fanatic Golf Report is brought to you by Parks Casino Sportsbook app, the #1 casino in PA. Lots of tournament results to report. Here are some from Gap's Senior Golf Circuit. At the 88th Warner Cup at the 1912 Club, Bill Burke of Galloway National won with a 200 par 69. In the Super Senior Division at Bala Golf Club, it was Greg Osborne cruising by 6 shots with a 66. In the Legends Division, John Gonzer and Buck Jones shot 74. At the Chapman Cup at Indian Valley, it was Jeff Frazier winning in a playoff over Bob Gill. For the Fanatic, I'm Mike Rose.
'Tis the season to visit Parks Casino for the Christmas in July sweepstakes. That's right, on July 30th, Parks Casino is giving away so many great gifts it feels like Christmas in July. From 4 to 10 p.m., one lucky winner selected every 15 minutes will unwrap a present containing designer handbags, electronics, and free slot play prizes up to $10,000. Visit Parks Casino on July 30th for your chance to win. Parks Casino. This is how you win. Visit parkscasino.com for more information. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's so sticky.
At Hannah's Organic Honey, business may be sweet, but they need an e-commerce queen bee to lead the hive.
Okay, these jars are going to Jakarta. Oh, wait a minute. Does that say Jackson?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Health Partners Plans wants to help you see more clearly. That's why we offer free eyeglasses and contact lenses to our Medicaid members of all ages. We know that wearing prescription eyeglasses or contact lenses can help improve your visibility, but did you know it can also reduce strain on your eyes that may be leading to other health concerns? Health Partners Vision benefits cover eyeglasses or contact lenses in addition to annual eye exams. To learn more about HPP, please call 1-800-553-0784 or visit us online at hpplans.com. When it comes to your vision, be sure to give it a look.
Meineke is celebrating 50 years of service with 50% off brake pads and shoes. Now that's worth celebrating. For tires, brakes, batteries, exhaust, and more, trust Meineke, doing car care right.
Hey, it's Mike Miss here. You know, Philly Sports is a big business, and we've got you covered every weekday with the Fanatic's Business of Sports Reports, powered by Pico for Business. For information on how your company can save with Pico's incentives, go to pico.com/business.
Let's go! WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Thank God this is radio, or you'd have to be looking at my face.
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. A lot of people sharing your assessment, Pat, that John Tortorella will be a very interesting change of pace here in town.
Yeah, he'll be brutally honest, which, isn't that what every fan base wants?
I would think
every
this fan base, yes.
Yeah, I think everybody just wants honesty. The beautiful thing about Torts is when you're pissed off, he's pissed off. I've said it before, but it kind of makes me scratch my head when there'll be a big goal given up or scored and the coach is just robotic behind the bench. The team's going nuts or the team's downtrodden. Coach just stays the same. That's not Torts at all.
No.
He will show his emotions, which I personally love. For whatever reason, it does make me feel better when the coach is as pissed off as I am, or coach is pumped and I'm pumped. It makes me realize like he doesn't accept it. He's not happy about it.
It was refreshing to hear that.
Yeah, I know that like no coach is happy to be giving up goals, but when you see they're emotionally pissed off, it's visible on their face. For whatever reason, it makes me feel a little bit better in the moment.
And it's going to mean little till this team gets respectable.
Yeah.
But overall, I think he makes an incredible. He always makes an impression.
I think he did that.
Yes,
I think he did
Absolutely.
that.
He makes an impression, and that's part of it. We appreciate him being in, and we look forward to having a chance to catch up with him
For sure.
very, very soon. 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by the Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's, and for details, go to Bagster.com. And Pat caught up with Kenny Smith on Friday. We're going to get into some of what Kenny told Pat in the course of the next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, me and Kenny are old friends.
You and Kenny catching up.
That's cool.
Getting some information.
Just a couple of bros, you know.
Well, were you talking to the thespian? Or
No,
were you talking to the basketball analyst?
I was just talking to the guy promoting Hustle.
Okay, well, then that works
That's
out
it.
well. Well, we will find out a little bit about that coming up on the show. There is one little thing I'd just like to say is a pump the brakes moment. It's I engaged with a few people on Twitter this weekend going, remove the interim tag from Rob Thompson right now.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah.
Do it now.
Chill.
No,
chill.
You chill.
Chill. I want to say bravo to Rob Thompson for a fantastic start. And yes, he is absolutely the kind of manager, if I owned a Major League Baseball franchise, he is exactly the kind of guy I would hire. I would want a baseball lifer. I would want someone a little older. I would want someone that had done a variety of jobs in Major League Baseball. Bench coach, third base coach, things like that. So they really understood it. And I love what he brings to the table there. But clamoring for the interim tag to be removed, please stop. Please. Let this thing breathe just a little bit. You are not in danger of losing Rob Thompson.
No.
Which is the only reason that you would need to lock him down.
Right.
No other organization's waiting there going, man, Phillies pass on Rob Thompson. We're grabbing him up. I promise you at season's end, or maybe in September if you really love where you're sitting, he will gladly take the big office permanently and the big paycheck that comes with it. He'll be there. If the Phillies offer it, on August 1st, September 1st, or October 1st, he's taking it.
Sure.
So don't worry about doing it now. You haven't seen enough now.
I've seen enough.
They're excited.
Let's go. Lock them up.
They are.
Lifetime contract,
no need,
Johnny.
There is no need to be locking down Rob Thompson. Remove the interim tag like Saturday night. It was coming. No. And then one guy made the mistake of being like, well, what do you think about this? And I'm like, well, let me tell you. No. I'm not ready for that.
People were excited.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You can be excited. I'm very excited for him. And he's exactly the guy that I wanted all along.
Yeah, you're probably right. I understand the logic, though, to do it. I mean, when a guy goes, 15-3 or whatever it is in their last 18 games, and they look like a totally different team, I understand it, but you're probably right. he's going to be available at the end of the season. I doubt he's going to want to move his whole family. I don't think he's going to be turned off by it. So while I understand both sides of the argument, I lean towards you.
Yeah, I mean, let's just chill a little.
I agree.
You know what I mean? It's nothing. Just chill out a little bit. We'll get there. And I want the guy to be. I want him to be very successful. Because if I was to ask you, kind of baseball manager you want for your baseball team, what do you want, Devon?
I do like what Rob Thompson. I like the demeanor. I like that he's there. I like that. And one for me, as you talk about an older guy and all that, it seems like he's, again, just going with the baseball feel of what he wants to do with his team. It's not necessarily analytical. It's not with that binder sitting there and you flipping through the pages all the time to make a decision. He's going by what he needs to do with the baseball feel. And that's what I think I would want. I want a guy who's going to see what's happening, of course, and just go off of what he knows and see if that is successful. And if that's successful, you don't have to change much. You can mix in the analytical part of it. But to be that type of manager, I like that.
I want a guy that goes with his gut more than analytics.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly just because I've seen that work with Charlie. So I'd rather go to the well with that.
And Charlie didn't really manage, though, in the era of analytics.
He didn't, but I've...
As much. Let's put it away, as much.
Yeah, like I've seen two guys manage heavily on and rely heavily on analytics. It's Gabe Kapler, which I thought in his first season, Gabe got a lot with a bad roster. The second year, I thought that roster had tuned him out, and it was time to go. And I think he's in a perfect spot in San Francisco. But he relied heavily on analytics. The second guy comes in relying even more on analytics, and it just blew up in his face. And he really was dedicated so much to analytics. He really treated the guys like robots, like they didn't have personalities and feelings and anything like that. So I don't need to talk to you more than twice after you sign for $100 million. That's absurd. Rob Thompson comes in, and there's a place for analytics, but we talked about this before. I think a big part of being a Major League Baseball manager is handling that locker room, handling the egos, the personalities. So I think he does have that. At least in the first 18 games, it seems like he does.
A lot of good energy to be talking about on that Locked On Phillies podcast that you host.
There certainly are. It certainly is good energy. Absolutely. And, I agree with what you guys are saying about the type of manager. For me, it's like I want Lou Brown from Major League. Like, that's the type of demeanor. Like, and it fits it's funny because it's a movie character, but it fits into everything that you guys are saying. Just the slightly older, more experienced.
That it's 162, also?
Yes.
Working at a tire store.
Yeah, guy trusts his players, goes with his gut, listens to what people around him are saying. Not so much analytics in that movie, of course, and you can't get fully away from it now at this point where Major League Baseball's gone. But yeah, I echo everything you guys are saying.
Hey, it's one thing to build a truck. It's another to build a legacy. Ford F-Series, best-selling pickups in America for 45 straight years. Check them out at buyfordnow.com and at your local Ford store, which is great. We've also got, how about 2 more pairs of FanFest tickets to give away? Want to say hello to Haley? Of course you do. 215-263-0975. FanFest is coming up Saturday, October 1st, 1 to 5 p.m. at Xfinity Live. We look forward to seeing you there. Devon and Connor would like to give you a pair of tickets each. So Devon's giving away a pair of tickets. Connor's giving away a pair of tickets.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
No
So
problem.
right now, Haley will get them to you. But 215-263-0975. Make plans for FanFest 2022 where Pat Egan's going to get wild this year. That's one of the slogans is FanFest 2022, where Egan gets wild.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's about.
You guys aren't ready for it.
It's going to have 2 Coca-Colas.
Yeah.
You went crazy.
The one year I was double fisting Cokes.
I like last year when Mikey Miss introduced Pat as the pride of Temple University.
Yeah, I still don't quite understand that, as I've made it very known that I did not get in.
But people love you at Temple. People love you.
I appreciate that, but I want it known because I think it's customary.
Nome? Did you say or no?
No, not the place in Alaska. No, I think it's customary that when you see somebody in, let's say, like an LSU hoodie, you're like, oh, they didn't go to LSU, right? They're a poser. You see somebody in a Notre Dame hoodie, they didn't go to Notre Dame, they're a poser. I want it known that I'm not trying to play it off like I went there. I like the basketball team and the football team very much. I follow them very closely. Temple did not want me.
They didn't want you.
They sent me a very nice letter explaining that.
A thin letter? You got the thin envelope?
Very. We regret to inform you, and that's all I needed to read.
You're their DK Metcalf. They didn't want you, but now they're.
But
looking
now
at
they,
it like,
now
wow.
they know.
Yeah. They took some J.J. Arthur-Whiteside guy.
There you go.
Dean Boardman loves your support of Temple.
What do you say, Dean Boardman?
So he loves that.
Tell you what,
Now he was Saltunis is dean, and he's now the dean of my daughter. Now, but you, I mean, you're like an adopted.
Yeah.
He would have led you. But look where he ended up.
Yeah, we all ended up in the same place.
Exactly. You ended up here.
Right? So
I saw a guy with Newman at DSW this weekend with his girlfriend, DSW King of Prussia. He was wearing his Newman Lacrosse Alumni Games T-shirt.
There's a guy down the hall that coaches lacrosse at Newman.
Newman Lacrosse Alumni Game T-shirt.
Yeah, they always had a pretty decent lacrosse
That's a
team.
different flex.
Yeah.
He's just wearing a
sort of flex.
T-shirt. I don't know that he's trying to flex.
Yeah, I don't
It's a
think
different
he's.
sort of flex.
But it's his flex. It's a T-shirt.
I don't think that's a flex at all.
He just woke up and put on a T-shirt.
He put on his Newman Alumni
It's
Game
important to
flex.
him.
It is. It's very important.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just like the T-shirt at
It
the
was
top.
there.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Maybe
we,
he didn't even
I
go to
think,
But he
Newman.
kept it
I think
for
we
a
might
reason.
be
It's
overthinking
important
this.
to
Yeah,
him.
it might just be
Yes.
the T-shirt at the top that was clean.
All right, so Friday afternoon, Pat was able to hang out with Kenny Smith, which is really interesting, Pat. I mean, you're getting to hang out with hobnob with the rich and famous and everything.
Pat's a movie guy.
And you were
Yeah.
talking to Kenny Smith about.
No, not anymore. Word spreading far and wide. I can't name five Tom Cruise movies in 10 seconds.
But you were talking about his work on Hustle.
Yeah, he was in Hustle, and a lot of these guys played themselves. He did not. He played the agent who was best friends with Adam Sandler in the movie, named Leon Rich. So he actually had to learn dialogue and not just kind of stand there.
Let's hear a little bit about it.
Well, you know what? Because obviously there's no one in basketball I haven't really touched at some point. But to have them in a collection over 2 or 3 weeks where they're just kind of running in, because a lot of guys did have cameos. So they're just running in and running out. I think the most fun for me was doing the breaks and takes where, all of a sudden these war stories are being told, or there's an impromptu dunk contest. There's an impromptu three-point contest. There's those kind of things which made the film a little bit different than any other film. That I think that's what Adam enjoyed about it as well, because he got to hear all of the behind-the-scenes stories that happened not only in the NBA but past, present, and future NBA.
Seems like he really enjoyed the interacting with people in a different setting.
Yeah, he told me that when he got the script, he was looking for his name, and he had to call Adam back and say, "Dude, my name's not in it." And Adam said, "No, you're playing Leon."
Exactly.
He's like, "I got
It's
32
amazing.
pages of dialogue to learn," so he wasn't too thrilled about that, but he quickly adapted. And he seemed to really enjoy his time on set.
He was really good with it, though. One of the things, though, is that he did flex to the Philly fans at the premiere, and he was talking about next year. I'll be here because the NBA Finals be going on, and it was a night when Boston was hosting a game. I won't be in Boston. I'll be here.
Yeah.
So he made the Philadelphia 76er fans feel pretty good.
He knew how to work a crowd.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, no, he talked about that, and I asked him, all right, well, what do they have to do?
What do you get done?
Because we want you back in Philly, so what do they have to do?
The Sixers will be in the NBA Finals if they don't panic. And what I mean by that, by panicking, by saying we weren't good enough. We can't do it with these guys. They can do it with those guys. But you can't do it with those guys and bringing them in February and March. No. But if you put that team together and you have Joel Embiid stay healthy and have that type of season with the players that are currently constructed, James Harden will be much better next year. We will be in Philadelphia in June. But if they panic and they go, oh, there's Tobias Harris and Thibault and they start making all of these different, they're going to be right back where they were.
There it goes. Did we talk about that a little bit earlier?
And you sort of seem that you're of the belief that maybe they want to play it out at least with the big four.
Yes. Of course, I don't know about Thibault. I don't know what that means. I think they want to upgrade. And if we hear enough smoke about them wanting to pick up a third star, if they cannot pick up that third star, wouldn't it just seem more logical to keep the four intact and maybe Thibault as well, but still go out there
and try
to upgrade that fifth spot? But what does that mean, though, John, when you talk about Golden State and what we've seen, Boston and all that, the sacrifice that comes with it? He is an NBA champion. He's been around it. He has great relationships, as he talks about, so he knows what it takes, and he sees something in Philadelphia where they don't need to panic and do any more. But what comes with the sacrifice, and that's something that I wanted to know about.
I mean, that's, Doc Rivers, and Daryl Moyer, that's something that they can answer better. But just on my experiences, when like there are like 4 or 5 guys on every team that can go, I can really get you 18 to 20 points tonight. Like, really. Like, if I just concentrate on scoring, I could get you 18 to 20 points. But then there comes a click or a switch that goes, no, let's let him get 28 tonight because he's got the advantage. And I'm okay with getting 12 and not even going to think about it. That's when you know you have a championship team.
Do you
I
have
love
that? Do you have it?
No. I don't believe you have that here.
I do, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I do think you have a unit that's willing to take a step back if a guy looks like he's hot. I mean, I feel like I've seen it this season with Tyrese Maxey a few times where Joel Embiid was willing to take a little bit of a back seat in some games to let Tyrese Maxey just go off. And when you look at the box score, and Tyrese Maxey would have 35 and Joel Embiid would have 22. But it was because Joel Embiid realized that Maxey had the hot hand, so let him go. Yeah, I think they need more of it, but I do think they have it already.
And then you also look at the Tobias Harris part where he had to learn a different spot with James Harden here. But does Tobias Harris want more, though? Even though he did that, does he want more?
I saw a Tobias that was willing to play that subservient role.
But can he do it for a full season?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he can. I know one of the things I wanted to know, Pat, was the ideas about James Harden's playoff run and about what James Harden brought to the table and what Kenny sort of was thinking about that.
Yeah, I asked him that question about what he thought because it was a little underwhelming. And basically it was, you shouldn't have expected a championship. Here's what he said.
I just think that he's a new player on a new team. And, so he's going to have his highs and lows. And if you catch him at the right time, it's going to be a low. And you catch him at the right time, it's going to be a high. I just think that the newness of what he was bringing to the team, was unrealistic to say now it's a championship. If that trade had happened in November, December, I would have been like, it's a different team. But since the trade happened so late, I was like, are people really good to believe they're going to win a championship because he's there now? And I didn't think that was a realistic goal, honestly. I didn't, and that's from a non-Philadelphia fan. You know what I mean? Like from somebody my job is to analyze basketball. I without knowing if I took Philadelphia off the jersey, I would have said that's an unrealistic goal for whatever the team's name is. So I understand that you have great players, but that was a very unrealistic goal.
All right. That seems like a little revisionist history. I remember watching TNT. I remember talking to Shaquille about when James Harden was acquired by the Sixers. And Shaq came on this radio show and talked about it. It's like now everyone's going, well, what'd you expect? What did I expect? I expected Eastern Conference Finals, period. And this team should have been in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that one. When championship, I don't know. It's about, again, how did you get there? What happened? Well, one of the things that happened was the path was created for you to go through Toronto and the best matchup, even though they were the number one seed, Miami Heat. So getting to the Eastern Conference Finals should have been the goal, and then we adjust from there and see. Obviously, you want them to win if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, get to the NBA Finals, and see how you now match up.
Sure, if you matched up
against Boston or Milwaukee in that case, and see what goes on. But no, The job is to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, no matter what. And
see, that's where I disagree.
No,
no matter what thing, because when Joel Embiid breaks his face, like it changes my expectations completely.
Not
when he gets injured the way he did.
Not when you win the two the way that you did, and it seemed like he would be okay.
Yeah, I mean,
to get to the Eastern Conference
he's
Finals.
good in games 3 and 4, and then mysteriously bad in games 5 and 6.
It's not just him; it's about everybody else, like James Harden.
And Harden.
Can you pick me up for 2 more games where we can get here, and then when we get here to the Eastern Conference Finals, again, the adjustment needs to be made, not only because of the opponent, but because, okay, we got here, we're not fully healthy. How can we now capitalize with where we are right now, the way we are?
Once he broke his face, I already had my doubts they would beat the Heat anyway. Once he broke his face, it was
you were feeling bad.
And even the fact that they won those 2 games,
6 before the news came out about his face.
I had the Heat in 6.
Yeah, I had the Sixers in 6.
One thing Pat wanted to know, though, and I thought it was a good question, Pat, is where Hustle falls in his all-time basketball movies ranking.
My favorite, before this, I put this in the sports movie category instead of basketball, because you want to see. I honestly believe that this is one of the top in our generation. I just can't say the Brian songs and all those movies I hadn't seen. Really, I haven't lived. I was too young, but I think that this is the top 3 sports movie of in our generation, just because of the story, the plot, and how it goes. I would say with the Denzel movie with football.
Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans? I feel this is right above that, and so Remember the Titans is one of my favorites. So I always kind of I would watch that. You're killing me, Petey. You're killing me.
I say that all the time.
I know the lines from that, So I put this. There are going to be lines and things that people will now adapt into pop culture because the film is so good. So there'll be lines that people will say that that I've said or Adam said or Wancho or Ant-Man has said that will become the culture of sport without people knowing.
We talk about stars being made. So talking to some close folks close to Anthony Edwards the other day.
Yeah.
He's been approached about which we'll probably hear more about maybe this offseason, about a modeling contract.
Not surprised.
He now is going to be, and Wancho in our household, my wife and daughter both were like, Wancho, what up? Like they really were, these men are turning into stars off the court.
Anthony Edwards, yes. Wancho, I don't know that much will change for him.
You don't think much will change?
So. No. I think people will look at him for what this was and say he did a fantastic job.
Yep.
But in the end, he's going to go back to being Wancho, and I don't know.
But it just adds to the lore of Anthony Edwards.
100%.
Yeah. He was a great 100%
villain. He was a great villain.
Mm-hmm. And the modeling
really
thing
did.
is not surprising. I mean, if you ever see him sit at the post-game, the podium, and he has his chain on, it's a huge AE chain for Anthony Edwards.
He's just charming.
The smile
Yes.
that he has, the personality in general, that's not surprising at all. He's with Adidas. I wouldn't be surprised if Adidas tried to pump him up a little bit more, especially if he makes the All-Star team next year, because that is his team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, not Karl Anthony Towns. Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Good job, Pat. That was nice to be able to hear from Kenny Smith.
Yeah,
About
sometimes
a great movie too.
Sometimes Kenny just calls me up and wants to.
That's nice.
Wants to chat,
Just
and I
shoots the
record
ball
it.
with you.
Really
So you can catch the full interview. It'll be up on our YouTube page pretty shortly.
There you go.
So I'll put it up on social media and stuff, but you can catch the full interview.
All right, coming up, Pat has a rival, and he didn't even know this guy existed. Plus, I got some validation. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. When storms hit, the last thing you want to be dealing with is water in your basement because you're going to have a hassle, you're going to have a mess, and more importantly, you're going to have the cost of cleanup. Why don't you protect your home now with the trusted experts at DryTech Waterproofing Solutions? Do you have a damp basement? Do you have cracks in your foundation? Do you have areas of wet along the wall? You might have an unhealthy, moldy environment. Well, DryTech Waterproofing Solutions is there to help. They have a great team. They're going to manage the problems that come from water seeping into your basement and other areas. And with DryTech Waterproofing Solutions, you rest easier knowing your home is safe. There is no more stress of basement or crawl space problems. Take care of them now, though. They uncover potential issues, too, that are lurking, and they uncover them now and fix them now. With their care and experience, you can rely on them. Mention you heard it on the Kincade Show, and you're going to get 15% off of your service. That's a big savings for you. So right now, our listeners, tell them we sent you. You get 15% off your service with my friends at DryTech Waterproofing Solutions. That's drytechcorp.com on the web. Go and protect your investment.
The John Kincade Show.
If you don't like it, go on the internet and complain.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
At T-Mobile, we believe customers should get more. And with Magenta Max, our most popular plan ever, that's exactly what you get. On Max, you get more premium data than our standard plans. That's right, unlimited premium data, so you can stay connected to what matters most. And now, with Magenta Max, you get even more savings than before. Families on Max can get 5G home internet for just $30 a month. You heard right, just $30 for reliable 5G home internet. That means Max customers save $20 a month. And you get all this on the network with more 5G bars in more places than anyone else. At T-Mobile, you get more with Magenta Max. More premium data and more savings on 5G home internet. Head to your local T-Mobile store and make the switch today.
T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network. Capable device required. 5G home internet availability limited. 4G options also available. Qualified accounts include regulatory fees and price. $5 more a month without autopay. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey, everybody. It's Pat Egan. And I'm here with Dylan Sullivan at Recovery Centers of America to talk about addiction and support our friends and families who are affected by the disease of addiction. This health issue is very personal to me. In 2002, someone very close to me was battling alcohol addiction. My family and I are so grateful that he sought help. We've been tighter as a family ever since.
Thanks for sharing, Pat. It's so important we talk about addiction. We need to break down that stigma and the barriers to recovery. That's why we do what we do at Recovery Centers of America. You call us at 1-800-RECOVERY 24/7, and we'll pick up the phone, talk to you about your struggles, and figure out the best course of treatment to get you better, because we want you in recovery for life. This is serious treatment, and we'll help your family, too, with family therapy and support groups. If you're struggling with your mental health, which over half of people with addiction do, we will treat that too. Appreciate your time. Again, if you need help, call us day or night at 1-800-RECOVERY or find us online at recoverycentersofamerica.com.
Hey, y'all, this is your girl, Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at Metamucil.com today.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Hey there, casino fans. I'm here to let you know that the new BetRivers.com casino app is here. It's got lots and lots of exciting slots and table games to play, fast payouts, and a rewards program you'll love. Plus, with award-winning customer service, the excitement never stops. So get ready, casino lovers, to experience the BetRivers.com difference you can trust. It's a whole new game. Download it today.
Presented by Rivers Casino, Philadelphia. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Think you know Amazon? Think again. Did you know you can get paid when it works best for you? Yeah, that means you can get the money you earned directly after your shift. Or that you get benefits like healthcare on your very first day. As an Amazon warehouse associate, you'll be amazed by what you can get. To learn more about all of the benefits of working an hourly job at Amazon, go to amazon.com/hourly. That's amazon.com/hourly. Amazon is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
20,000 bonus points, 18.99% variable APR, and a $32 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 50. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved over 50% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma. Apply with more confidence. Member approval rates in 2021 over 50% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. The John Kincade Show.
It's about nothing. Everybody's doing something. We'll do nothing.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
John Kincade Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. This sounds like a, there was some show that sounds like. I can't remember.
The Wire.
No.
Breaking Bad.
No, it wasn't that.
John
The Office.
Cincinnati.
Facts of Life.
Oh, that was my next
It was
guess.
Facts of Life.
That sounds nothing like Facts of Life.
Not even close. Yeah.
What do you, well, with the jokes on the show, you take the good and you take the bad.
Yeah.
More bad than good on this show.
And that was Ladies First. Was that not Ladies First?
It is.
Yeah.
Moni Love, Queen Latifah.
There you go.
Love Queen Latifah as an actress.
Who was in Hustle?
She was in Hustle. And I have caught around 3 or 4 episodes of her Equalizer.
I'm a fan.
She's excellent.
Yeah. You know what I caught on? That came on during the pandemic. And that was perfect.
She's excellent in that role.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really good.
And it's, I am actually surprised, though, at this, how athletic she is.
Really?
Because she doesn't, I wouldn't think Queen Latifah would be that athletic. She's really athletic in that role. Because I guarantee you some
Like
of the
the fight
stuff is
scenes and
stunned.
stuff?
Some of the stuff
Yeah.
is stunned.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff she has to choreograph it or do stuff herself. She's excellent in that role. It's a show I'd like to see more of.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Pat, you've not seen Lincoln Lawyer yet, have you?
No.
I haven't seen it.
It's well worth your time. It is really well worth your time.
Okay.
We have 1 episode left. It's 10, and we cannot wait to see it.
Okay.
Cannot wait to see that
watched
last
it.
episode.
Real fast, did you see this Kyrie Irving stuff?
No, what's it now?
Shams. Kyrie Irving, Nets are at an impasse in conversations about a future in Brooklyn, clearing the way for a 7-time All-Star to consider open market. Lakers and Knicks expected to emerge as among potential suitors.
Is he going to want to play 40 games?
See,
Is he going to want to play 50?
Charles Barkley had the best. Charles is hilarious. But when he called him half man, half the season, I thought that was tremendous.
That was a very good line.
That was the
He
best.
is.
Fantastic.
Like, I mean, honestly, who?
I can't do it.
We were talking, me and Devon, during the break. He is one of top 10 player in the NBA.
Talent-wise.
And I want nothing to do with him.
Can't count on him.
I just feel like not only can you not count on him, but he's so polarizing that I feel like he fractures your locker room. We're talking about Matisse Thybulle of all people. Possibly. We don't know, but possibly fracturing a locker room because of his refusal
Stance,
to
right.
his stance to not take the COVID test or the COVID vaccine. That's Matisse. He's a role player. You bring in Kyrie Irving, that can't help your room. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm naive.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, he's a polarizing figure.
Because of that, I would want nothing to do with him if I was in the market, which I don't think the Sixers would be even remotely in the market for him, especially with the relationship he had with James Harden. But I don't. No, I'm good.
I mean, what do you want, a part-time teammate? I mean, he's a nutcase.
Can't do it. I can't do it.
By the way, he likes filtered ice only.
Yeah, that's.
I witnessed that personally.
At what point do you become the guy that's ordering filtered ice and refusing to just take regular ice.
Refusing to take a scoop and take at the premiere of Uncle Drew. I saw him scold
I just thought he was good in that.
Saw him scold. Oh, yes, right. Backstage during the pre-party, scold a woman, call her over and go. He takes a piece of ice. He pops it in his mouth and he goes, "This isn't filtered ice." I said filtered ice.
And you know what's crazy?
And you know what Shag did? He walked right over behind him, got the scoop, put it in a cup, chucked it in his mouth and goes, "That ice is fine." And literally he was ridiculing the woman, saying this isn't filtered ice.
And it's wild because I think it was year 2. I think it was year 2 of his career when he was still in Cleveland. A friend of mine wrote for Slam, and he was doing a feature on him, and he was going to be on the front page of the magazine. So he asked me to go up there with him.
Okay.
Just, I don't know. He's like, "Yo, you want to go up there with me? I'm doing this thing."
Why not? Yeah.
And so I was like, "Yeah, I'll go with you." So it was in the offseason. Kyrie Irving had flew in. This is when he broke his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was that year. And we were there at the Cleveland Clinic practice facility, whatever it's called. And he couldn't have been nicer. The nicest person. And it was just us, like 2 of his friends, the photographer, and that was it. So I'm shooting
Was
around.
it a feature being done on him?
Yes.
Okay, well, then that might have explained.
Yeah, I mean,
but again, I don't know him.
Oh, yeah,
This is my first
okay,
interaction
okay,
with
I got
him.
you.
So we're doing that, and then he had the gear and all this stuff. Nike brought some gear for him to take the photos in. He's like, "I don't need this. Here, you take it." You know?
Oh, wow.
That's how. So you know.
So that was a good
That's
interaction.
my interaction with him. But I also have seen him over the years now, where I'm like, all right, this dude seems different.
Yeah, and he does. Look, in fairness, he does
a lot
of
stuff
charity work
for people.
A lot of charity work that I don't get the sense, at least, that it's PR charity work. You know, you have the guys that
he
will
doesn't say anything.
That's my point.
Yes.
Is you have the guys that will do their charity where they invite every newscast around to film them giving out fill in the blank for about 5 minutes and they bounce. I get the feeling that he's not that guy because he doesn't look for the accolades.
I would believe
for
he's
it.
not that guy.
So you take the good with the bad. I mean, I don't think he's like the worst person, but for the filtered ice story, he's a little out of touch. Yeah,
He's but he is his charitable ventures does not seem like he seeks attention.
No, he doesn't.
No, which is admirable.
But he quietly behind
because you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, he's just a little bit of a different dude, but it takes different kind of people to make the world go flat. So
yeah, exactly. Well, that's a very good one. I see. That's a good line.
Great call by you.
Hey, the beach, the boardwalk, and the boat on the bay. When you're in Jersey, go to BetParks. Get BetParks.com. Download it. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. One thing, Pat has a rival in his obsession with sugar. I didn't know this man existed, but he does. So we find out that Andy Curry is 41 years old. He had a Pepsi addiction.
Okay.
He drank 30 cans of Pepsi a day for 20 years, costing him, on average, around $8,500 to $8,600 a year.
What's this guy's name?
Andy Curry.
I need to see how big this guy is.
He's not that fat.
That's a lot.
Look at him. Look, I can show you right here on video, Pat. Right there.
Yeah, he looks like a normal
He doesn't
dude.
look. I mean, like he can.
Like I mean, he could if you were to lose some pounds, but he's not like.
I could
he's
get
not,
him on.
He's not on my 600-pound
Copare.
life.
He'd have to lose 40 or 50 on Copare, but he's not.
If he walks through the street, you're not like, oh my god, that guy.
right.
Look at him.
I want to know what his insides look like. Because you remember, did you ever do Doc Severn? I think back in high school in class we did one where we saw what Coca-Cola and Pepsi do to your insides, and we took rusty nails. You drop in like a rusty screw into Coca-Cola, and you pull it out, and the rust is removed.
Well, my inside is a rusty nail, so I'm probably fine.
It depends, John. It depends if he was drinking Pepsi Clear or not.
No, if he's just drinking Pepsi.
Oh, then
straight
screwed. Yeah,
Pepsi.
Was
he
it
was
on the
working.
rocks, or-
He was working night shifts for most of his supermarket career,
Was it with filtered ice?
and he said he liked the sugar rush to keep himself going.
Yeah, I think we all understand that.
He said he liked nothing more than a cold Pepsi. Now he gave it up, and now he drinks water.
My grandmother was addicted to Pepsi.
Same thing?
I mean, she wouldn't have 30 cans,
30.
but I mean, the running joke was, so my mom's a twin. And the running joke was, in between children, she stopped to have a Pepsi break. And for Santa Claus, she always put out a Pepsi for Santa.
So she did.
It was a Pepsi.
And Santa
milk,
would drink some of the
cookies.
Pepsi, right?
Absolutely.
With the cookies?
Because it's there, right? So she was absolutely addicted to Pepsi.
He
probably get that from her.
By the way, Pat, the picture that I showed you of is not a good look of him. He put on 266 pounds.
Okay. Vance from Copair needs to go
during his thing, but he's lost it. Nobody's lost a bunch of it now, and he's gotten away from his addiction. He does not drink it at all.
I don't think I could drink 30 drinks of anything.
No.
In one day.
30
You get tired
sodas
of
a
it.
day?
Yeah, like I just
Taste. You're
But
just
like,
like,
I'm not even talking about the
switch it up.
taste. I'm not even talking about that. The liquid intake. I do not think I could drink 30, 12 ounce anything.
Oh, I could do 30 beers in a day.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Seriously?
No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Come on.
Absolutely not.
Yes, I certainly could.
Well, that's a challenge.
30 beers in a day?
Yes.
Could not. Like I don't drink.
That's another weird flex.
You don't drink? What do you mean?
I'm just
Like
saying
I don't
Like
think
what's
I drink
the
that much.
what's the most
That much
you've
liquid.
done then?
Yeah. Same.
There was a year where I drank 1,000 plus in a year.
Oh, okay. I think
Okay,
you
like
did.
3 a day.
Yeah, pretty much. But just
3
like
a day, not
constant.
36.
But, like, if I
You
could
kept
do all
count?
that together. Yeah, I kept
For
a
the
note.
year?
I kept a note on my phone that because some of my buddies said I wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
3 a day?
But some of my
No,
buddies.
no,
I would think a lot
it
of
was
it-
more like 4 days off, 15 or 20 on the weekends.
Think
It
about
was-
how
yeah.
childish this is.
Oh, it's very childish.
You know, Bruce from the Douche Crew said, "Oh, I bet you can't." Yes, I can.
Well,
I double dare you. Yeah, like
I double dog dare.
yeah, you're getting cirrhosis of the liver because one of your friends from college said you couldn't do something. Way to flex on him, Connor. Way to
Wow.
go. You showed him.
Connor, it's a bad day.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was stupid.
Connor, 3 words. Recovery Centers of America.
It's a bad day for you.
Nah, I'm good.
They'll help you out, bud.
They will. I don't think they can do it with any of that. But by the way, a little vindication. The comes coach. We get these reports where they try to tell you stuff for radio topics.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
Sure.
They ranked medical dramas in the United States by states, and they surveyed 1,500 people in every state. Said, what was your favorite medical drama? And the number one medical drama in Pennsylvania?
Don't know if I have one.
General Hospital.
It's not a
number
drama.
one medical. Yes, it is. It's a drama.
That's a soap opera.
It's a drama.
It's not a drama.
It's exactly like you watch The Sopranos.
ER is a drama.
Your constant defense of this show to people that are never going to watch it is, I go from like admiring it to wanting to strangle your neck.
This is the
But
number
right now
one.
I'm admiring it.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, number one show of a medical genre is General Hospital.
I'm willing to bet though the demographic is kind of like Major League Baseball.
It is 30.
A lot of old people.
It is 31. Average age 49. Okay, in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Which makes it 8 years younger than Major League Baseball's average.
Yeah, but it's
age.
getting there though.
And 31% male, 69% female.
You watch this every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Not every day, but like it's on the DVR. But it's there. But it's popular. It's good to see. Good to see still going strong at 60.
Oh yeah, I'm
60.
relieved.
At 60 next year. Pat, you ready for the 60th anniversary though? You ready for the diamond
you know what?
anniversary?
That's actually when I'm taking my vacation.
You are going to take the vacation so you can watch it live?
I'm not. I do not want to be here. I do not want to be here when it's the 60th anniversary.
Taking that day off?
It will be 75. Like that. We're talking about the summer of fun. That will be the day of no fun.
That'll be April Fool. That's April Fool's Day next year.
75% General Hospital and 25%, Eagles and
Sports.
Or
JT
whatever's going
Realmuto's
on, yes.
contract.
Yeah,
and
our April Fool's joke is
Flyers.
going to be we're not going to show up.
Yeah,
You're going to
exactly.
be doing the show by yourself. Gotcha.
Now, Pat, what if you were stuck in traffic though?
Oh my God.
Come on, what happened? What's the
Look,
latest?
76 sucks. Okay, we all know
You
this.
and Jamie are obsessed with the scoop.
Because it's the worst stretch of road, and it became obsolete the moment it opened. It has never been a viable mode of rail transportation. Like, it doesn't matter what day of time it is seemingly always backed up, either one way or the other, because they have like 4 lanes going into 2, and it's a bottleneck. But I was heading somewhere this past weekend, and I'm on 76, and I can't really see in front of the car in front of me because we're on like the Conshohocken curve or whatever. But we were going probably 35 miles an hour on 76, And I finally am able to get over, and I see that this person, no one's in front of him. There was no reason for him to be going 35 miles an hour.
What was it then?
My guess would be he's probably texting, all right? Because God forbid we just wait.
Give me the demographic. Old, young,
I have no idea.
Male,
couldn't
female?
see.
You couldn't even tell.
Tinted windows.
Wow.
Have no idea. Don't know the plates, so don't start inboxing me of it was probably a Jersey driver. I probably was. I don't know. But what are we doing? You're on I-76. You know for a fact that there's 2 lanes of traffic, and you're going 35 miles an hour with nothing but daylight in front of you. In the left lane.
And no one could...
left lane.
Could people pass on the right or not? Even though you're not supposed to.
I got
and
over
you're not supposed to.
Eventually, I got over
But
because I
in a
had
situation
to.
like that,
You have to.
You have to do it.
Because somebody is someone just giving the big middle finger?
No idea. You're not that important, okay? You're not. The text is not emergency. If it is, pull over to the side of the road. I'm not even mad that you're texting. I'm really not. I'm not going to get on the high horse about texting and driving.
Really?
You shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be doing it. I'm guilty, okay? I've done it before. I'll do it again.
You text and drive.
I'm realistic with myself. I'll do it. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I'm, once again, but I'm not having full-blown conversations like this jagaloon probably was. He's probably sitting there writing a book with chapters and verses and epilogues. All right, I'm just looking down. Okay, not great, okay? That's not mature of me to do. All right, I realize it's a mistake, but still. This dude's probably writing a full-on script like Anthony Gargano for his movies in I-76 traffic.
Why wouldn't you have a voice to text?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I get corrected about
You
that.
forget it because people forget about that. They want that.
I get corrected by my daughter for that because I will voice to text when driving. And she says, Dad, you're texting and driving.
Whatever. Are you going more than 35 miles an hour and not literally creating traffic?
And I said,
that's
no,
what annoys
exactly.
me.
That's what it is.
Look, honestly, the gaper delays drive me nuts.
Oh, that's the worst.
Okay, they do. We've all seen an accident. You don't need to look over. Oh, what's going on over there?
Can't stand
look at that. 2 accidents. Stop. But at least I understand it because it's curiosity. We've all been curious. When you're sitting there creating traffic by just going slow, and you're not even hitting the speed limit, I wish you nothing but the worst. Nothing but the worst.
Now, did the people behind you then follow? Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Were you all
it was,
were you all beeping at this driver as you got past?
Wasn't beeping, just because...
Do you not beep?
Smaller guy, road rage, okay? I'm not trying to get my ass beat. But
you gotta beep.
But I did pull up, and I gave a look like...
Wait a minute, how are you going to get your ass beat because you beeped your horn?
They could follow me. I had a car one time. They followed me not all the way home, but they followed me a good distance, and then they threw something at my car. Yeah, late at night. So I didn't want to beat, okay? I'm not trying to become a Netflix docuseries. But my point is...
I think that would have been justified, the beep.
I never think of the beep being something that's going to...
Well, if you lay on it,
somebody
well,
off.
laying on
If
the
you
horn
lay
is different.
on it-
Isn't that different?
Yeah, but yes, it is different because in this case, you just beep and you're like, all right, bang. You know why I'm beeping.
Right.
I can't see in your
The
car
laying
and see
on the
what you're
horn is
doing.
different.
But you know why I am beeping. Laying on the horn is totally different for what is happening as I get attacked.
You're getting attacked.
It's one of those things where
My guy.
I
What's up,
just
man?
want to pull my
What's going
car
on?
right into
How you
him.
feeling?
No, I get you.
Because
And you don't
it's-
want to do that because you have a new car.
It's a rare situation where there's not really traffic going on 76, so this jackass is creating the traffic
It's not
on
good.
76, holding me up. I got things to do.
Was it Friday too?
It was
Was Friday
yeah.
or Saturday? I saw you.
Yeah,
you were
it's
upset
just
about
like,
it.
dude,
Because that should never happen.
the worst.
Anthony
much.
would take care of that.
Too much.
Anthony would
What's
take care
up,
of something like that. How you
man?
doing?
I love it.
You look clean shaven and
I
sharp.
love it.
Look at you.
I'm saying I got my man Devon.
What's happening, Ed?
It's so good to see him. Yeah, I don't get
That's
a chance
Bob
to
Cooney.
see
You
him.
didn't
I
even
love him.
Yeah, he's Bob Cooney.
Yeah, that's my man. He's good. He's,
What's up,
don't
man?
get better than my man Devon.
Yeah, he's cool people.
3 days to the draft. Devon didn't necessarily make me feel better today.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for answers. I want answers. There's no answers. There's a lot of smoke.
No answers.
About what could be
no
going
answers.
on.
You ain't getting answers.
Nah.
No, my brother. Johnny, it's going to be an off season, a very tense off season. Do you see Kyrie?
Yes.
Kyrie
We just talked
Kyrie
about
looking
it.
to go out.
Yep.
He's such a fugazi.
We
He's
just
going to
talked
go to
about
L.A., man. I'm telling
How
you.
about Durant, though? Durant's got to be saying, you're leaving me here with Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
It's like, don't leave me with the babies.
How about we?
Well, that's why it has to be a sign and
How
trade.
about we get KD to Philly?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
All right.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
All right.
Oh, no.
That's a perfect fit.
Oh, yes.
He already owns the Union.
That's my guy.
One of the
All
owners.
right. We get KD to Philly.
Yeah, but what are you giving up to KD?
Buys contract.
Yeah,
That's right.
They're going to do that.
B-ball
That's
Paul
right.
and Isaiah Joe and a second-round
And
pick.
Matisse Thybulle. He can finally go to
2
Brooklyn.
second-round
Why
picks
do
and
I suspect
Matisse.
you're going to get 6 phone
Matisse
calls
Day.
today?
But here's the thing,
No,
though.
not in this one.
Here's
Please.
the thing. KD can go where he wants to go.
Right.
You know.
I mean,
It's a star league. They
Kyrie's
say they
just
want to go
nuts.
somewhere, they're going to find a way there.
yeah, I think he'll probably try to latch on to another championship club and see if he can get a ring.
John, don't
Listen,
do
it's
that.
not KD's fault.
I will argue for Kevin Durant all day.
That's fine.
I agree.
The Golden
And
State
one of
thing.
it, and you know what?
The Golden State.
A couple of his burner accounts will too.
So good for him.
They will.
I'll monitor the other one for him.
He doesn't get enough respect of how great he is.
No.
He's, I mean, he might
He's
be.
a fantastic
Like, when we
talent.
talk about top 10, and Steph in the top 10, yeah. But KD, to me, is the best player in the league.
You know what I
agree.
You know why I'm going to give you the acid test though? Is that the other guys who are top 10, the vast majority of them didn't have to tell you that they were.
That's all right.
I think it's more personality.
That's all right.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think he's a hell of a talent.
I think it's more
Yeah,
personality.
that doesn't bother me one bit.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The Jewish game is just absurd.
And that's the thing. He can back all of that up.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not worried about that.
I thought he came.
we're talking about being a
I
great
thought he
shooter.
came up small in the playoffs this year.
Well, yeah, yes, and he
Mighty
also
small.
and he also did it by himself. By the
No,
way,
I got you, but I thought he came up mighty small.
Yeah,
don't
I've
think
also
so.
seen
I'll be
enough from
honest
him
with
where
you.
that,
I really don't
that
think
doesn't
so.
take away from what I've seen him do.
No, if I didn't
Kyrie-
take away from his whole career.
Kyrie's a virus.
John, there were a couple of shows during key shows in the ratings book, the last ratings book.
thought
I thought
already-
you came up a little
came a little
small. I didn't
small
want
on
to
it?
say anything, but we needed those days. And
KD tweeted in about it on one of his burner
he
accounts.
did. It was nothing but General
me.
Hospital talk.
That was me
Oh, was you're monitoring one of them
for him. Yes,
It's unbelievable.
and I will.
What I love seeing you in Eagles gear though in the off season. Is it still chilly outside this morning? I had to have a jacket on. Is it still a little chilly?
It's kind of
Or were
nice
you
little
just in the
breeze.
mood?
I'm just in the mood. I was just in the mood, really, to be honest with you.
When you go
It's
for
so
the,
light. It's just got, it's like that light jacket.
when you go for the walk on the beach at night,
Yeah.
the light windbreaker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
You like
Perfect. I love
I see
it.
the I
Or
see
the
colors.
thin hoodie. I like
The
a
thin hoodie?
Like the thin cotton hoodie is nice.
It's a nice, tasty.
It's
item.
nice.
Had that on Saturday.
Yeah,
the
that's
thin
comfy.
hoodie.
The thin
light-
hoodie.
the
This
lightweight
weekend,
hoodie.
It was the greatest weather in the history of weather.
It was the best.
It was the greatest weather in
awesome.
the history of weather.
Yes.
Yesterday's weather was incredible.
It was incredible.
I had the Father's Day of all Father's Days.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about all this.
It was.
That's great.
It was the most tremendous Father's Day gift I could ever imagine.
Oh, we can't wait.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Listen to Cuz Radio. Get in the mood. And it was Chernus's first Father's Day. So it was great. Devon, great having you around, bud.
Thank you.
Great to have
Appreciate
you
it.
around.
Thank
We'll
you.
hear more of you during the course of the summer. Pat, always great having you around. Connor,
Thank you.
great job.
Thank you.
If you don't get help at Charter, get help somewhere. We'll get you some help.
I'm all good.
Wasn't me this time, man.
Hey, support life-saving cancer research. Join us on our generous partner, Win Donation, and make a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research today at 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR, because cancer research saves lives. Heavy Chevy on the YouTube doing an amazing job. If you got to talk to Haley, you were lucky. We were too. And Coach, always tremendous. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6. Bob will be back tomorrow. John Kincade Show on The Fanatic. Have a great day, everybody.
The John Kincade Show.
I know that most people find his calm leadership to be a gentle, soothing beacon at a time of great social chaos.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Hi, I'm Patrick Fingles, owner of New Look Home Design, the roofing experts. When you hire someone to replace your roof, you want a detailed, upfront estimate and an expert to get it done right the first time. At New Look, we provide clear line-by-line estimates paired with a 3D rendering of your roofing project. On average, we install one roof every hour, so you know our team has the expertise